Howdy folks, welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari. We have a couple of things that are different tonight that are a little departure from some of the things that we have been doing. You'll notice that from the rewards, and we're gonna play Starfinder, but we're gonna get there in a second. A couple of announcements.
Jack, this is yours.
We're turning into a chess stream.
We're turning into a chess stream. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
We're gonna play Mahjong.
We've actually decided we're going to stream paint drying for 3 hours every Thursday. So for bits, you can support the channel through a variety of means. Bits is one of those. The Bits has changed as well as the channel points. So bits are something that you can use. It's the microcurrency that Twitch uses. It's real money. It's really, really helpful. It supports the stream very directly. There are a couple of the prices have been adjusted for all of the different bits rewards, and the way in which some of them have been tweaked just to kind of bring things in line. I believe there's one new reward as well. I can't quite remember. I have to double check. Oh, there is. It's a huge reward. It's a big reward. It is in the channel description in the about. And for mobile, I don't know how you get there. But there is one huge reward, and that is there you can read the description. You can also use channel points. The channel points are something that you can accumulate for free just by watching, and you can use those now instead of the Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk campaign, which is concluded as of last Friday. Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk, the political movement, won by 52, and so a huge number.
52 out of how many?
I think it ended up being 200 to 100 something, but it was a lot of votes and a lot for Junk Falls Will Always Be Junk, the political movement. So that is something that's going to kick off, and we'll see how that transpires. There are new rewards now, and you can read a little bit about those in the about.
Can I say the big one?
Go for it.
I found it.
Yeah.
You write a 15-word prompt in chat. We'll create a one-shot based off that prompt in a special session.
Wow.
And so we'll do it like Alberon RPG Network lottery style. So whoever is available that day and wants to participate, we can have up to 6 players. And so we'll figure that out. But that's a very expensive one. I don't predict people will actually buy that.
15,000 bits.
How much dollars
It's
is that?
$150.
Oh, wow.
So I wouldn't pay for that. But
for 100,000 bits, you can unlock Echo's emote.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of bits. Yeah, that's bits over time.
You're still not going to get most of the emotes.
I wish I had more control over the tiers at which you could do that. But neither here nor there. Channel points, you can use them to interact with a upcoming storyline that is going to probably be unearthed tonight. We also have social media at Alberon RPG on Instagram. You can see a lot of close-ups of things like this encounter map. You can see it a little bit on this encounter camera, but you can see it a lot closer on Instagram. And then tomorrow night, we are going to be playing the 14th session of Courts of Everest, our original 5th edition D&D campaign. Billy is alive, and so that's really nice. Yeah. And so we're going to be picking up after the capture of the Grung Poisoner Dire Croak, which has really been your objective for all 14 sessions. So
nothing can go wrong.
You say as you literally forced yourself into combat.
Everything's fine.
After almost avoiding it. But neither here nor there. If you want to see what happened, you can check that out on YouTube at Alberon RPG. And then finally, for sound effects that you hear that are not made by us, Sirenscape is a digital tool set that you can use to add things like, what do we have loaded up here? I have something that says battle cries. There you go. A battle cry. I got a drunken song. We got a blade slash right here. Swoosh. Of course, we have our favorite, the Wilhelm scream. But for all those sound effects and more, you can go to Sirenscape. And with that, I can get us into our recap, which is going to use our own theme song. Thank you, Arcane Anthems. Alrighty. Mosaic Team 5. Last we played. This is session 50, by the way. Halfway to 100. Mosaic Team 5. Last we played. Spice, after your former best friend Meeg had gouged out one of your eyes and pierced your skull with a plasma spike, you told her that even if she killed you, you wouldn't hurt her. And as you told her that you loved her, used your entire turn to give her a hug, and left your life in her hands, there was a tense moment. Meeg's body stiffened. She raised the drow pistol, and fired at the GPF officer beyond. With Meeg's help, you were able to quickly overcome the last of Luxurious Squad, with Bubs helpfully crushing the corpse of one of their members. You took a moment to gather your breath. Meeg offered to help all of you escape at the conclusion of this battle, but revealed that with her, cybernetic implants would be a liability in this combat. She decided to wait with this shuttle and gave you a little bit of information about what lay beyond the security doors that Shade and Echo took a little bit of time to open. Gibbs, you stabilized Spice's fractured skull and missing eye, such that it wouldn't be critically dangerous in this moment, although still certainly not something you want to be walking around with for too long. Bubs, you mulled over what it means to be just a teammate. But after a moment of rest, you opened the door. You triggered a grenade that had been affixed to this door, and though it was situated in a perfect way and set up with much care, with a simple kick of the foot, Echo, you were able to boop it into the hot tub, which dropped all of you into initiative. You breached into the sauna room, dodging the anti-gravity grenade, and faced off with the governor, the arms dealer Arlen Sands, the bounty hunter Jebediah Hex, and the nefarious longtime rival of Bubs, longtime being about a week and a half, Jimmy 12 Toes. Shade, you used your jump jets to propel yourself to the edge of the hot tub and press Sitsu into a corner, eventually managing to disable his custom rig and capture him. Echo, you fought into the center of the room using stealth, the steam and smoke obfuscating your shots and actually landing several. Spice, you and Bubs both went right, fighting together against the massive mechanically modified humanoid bounty hunter that is Jimmy, but ultimately taking blow after blow, while dealing relatively little damage in return. Gibbs, you leapt forward and jumped onto a super advanced full-body dryer, and using the incredibly advanced mystical elements, proceeded to vomit into it,
Dope.
creating a vaporized cloud of vomit that obfuscated the area and caused both Jebediah Hex and Arlen Sands to vomit across the floor. Arlen Sands and the caster Jebediah Hex were both defeated. However, the governor still bound in rope, and most of all, Jimmy 12 Toes still very active, fully looming, 9 feet tall, baleful eyes looking down. But just now, you heard a bell, the sound of elevator doors opening beyond, and that is where we are tonight, dropping back into initiative. Give me just
Oh, shit.
Can we flip our thing around?
That bad boy.
It's also not correct.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, because you have to move all the different
3
things
turns
around.
of Wisp ally left, and
Yep,
also-
3 turns of Wisp Ballet left for Jimmy 12 Toes.
Yeah.
And I just
Lifelink
disarmed and did I catch the manacles, or was I about to catch the manacles that
I
were
think
being
you
tossed?
caught them already.
That who tossed?
Did you throw me the manacles?
Yeah, and I think you have them in your hands.
It is
Yeah.
Fear
But I've
flight
disarmed the.
on Jimmy 12 Toes
thing.
for you for how
Oh,
many turns?
yeah, fuck. Oh, yeah, I'm fucked up.
Jimmy
Actually, I'm
12
not so
Toes
bad.
is mad.
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
turns did you roll that for?
The whole thing.
Do,
4.
fight?
Oh,
4 turns?
Yeah, it was as much as it could get.
So I think only
To
one
the
turn.
side
is
is
on
what I meant.
Yeah,
they're
right,
the
because I'm not going to stand
Yeah.
for another 3 turns, but
Give me one
I
moment.
can solve that problem when I get there.
So,
We did it. Go team.
the way that this works here,
this can be on the camera.
to remind everybody what initiative is, Shade, you are catching these handcuffs in your hands right as this bell sounds. Spice, you are following Shade. The bad guys, who are Jimmy 12 Toes and technically Governor Sitsu. Then Bubs, then Echo, and then Gibbs. And then we're returning to the initiative order 20, which is when you're hearing this bell and the arrival of this elevator. Hopefully, Kankashi and
I don't
Right.
like that hope.
Give me
Yeah, it's
one
probably going to be like the governor's B squad or whatever.
All right,
It would be
Shade.
the C squad. This is already the B squad.
Around the corner, you hear ding through like the ringing of that missile that is still kind of messing with your senses. You hear the elevator go off. You catch the manacles. You can still smell elements of like the vomit that is superheated over in the corner. What do you want to do?
I would like to bemanacle Sitsu.
The manacle.
Go ahead. And I would say actually you can do that as a swift action, as they're already bound. It doesn't take any check, but you do need to take the time to do it. You can just take them and clap them on.
Cool. I'm gonna push him down onto the ground, put a foot on his back, and then point to the door and ready an action for if it's hostile enemy.
No problem. You lower your weapon. This is the gravity pistol or the...
I think at this point I had the gravity pistol and the steel blade out.
Okay. So gravity pistol one hand, steel blade in the other.
You manacled one set of his arms. He has 2 sets.
Yeah.
I have.
He already had one back.
Yeah, I have one set of manacles myself.
So currently, Governor Sitsu wearing this like crisp gold suit, and actually, Shade, as you put the second set of manacles on and you interact with the suit a little bit more, you can feel it is stiff underneath, and though the outside moves, there's a second level. This is like an armored suit, and it's durable. But you put the other set of manacles on, and as you put your foot down and you point the gun out, he says, "You are a bounty hunter. I can make you quite rich." Okay.
Nothing.
Total face down. No problem. Anything else, Shade?
I'm just readying to fire at any hostiles that enter. Oh, actually, wait. Jimmy 12 Toes is still right there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Alive.
Oh, yeah.
Very much. You can see,
Jimmy
like,
12
right now,
Toes.
he just, like shoved
Kicking
Bubs back.
ass.
He's, like shooting over... He's mostly directed at Gibbs right now, actually.
Yeah.
You can see his back.
Oh, okay. Then I think I'm just going to attack him.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to... It's bluff with my exocortex. Not bluff, but feint action.
Gotcha. And that is against sense motive.
I believe so, yes. Ooh, fresh dice. That's gonna be 34.
that'd
Nice.
be an
So those are
18.
new ones. You got
So,
this
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Go ahead and make the
19 to
attack
start.
roll.
So now he's flat-footed. So his AC is.
Oh, this is your combat maneuver.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. Hang on one sec. So that was a 34.
34. Yeah. Not a combat maneuver. It's the it counts as a combat maneuver because it's essentially the feint action.
That has a
but it's
DC
with
then,
the-
right? So he has
Yeah.
you have, that's 15 plus his CR.
Yeah.
What was it? 34.
Yes.
Okay, that still beats it.
Nice.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Cool.
So he is flat.
So now he's flat-footed,
And
and then I'm gonna attack him.
incapacitated. That's not what he is.
And I think I'll
if you have Starfinder combat rings, please
stab him with the Vesk sword because
make your attack roll.
I
Absolutely.
feel like the gravity gun
Cannot
isn't
take
good.
reactions.
Well, actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna stab him. That'll do.
And that's super helpful because you have seen his reactions.
Nice.
So
That's
loud.
I know it's hefty.
Oh yeah, they're new
They're
dice.
heavy.
Oh, congrats on the new dice.
Anyways, what was that?
That was an 18 plus 29.
29. That hits.
Nice. All right, and then that's gonna be the Vesk blade.
As he begins to talk to you, it's almost like you drown it out by swinging the sword. You hear the clang as it interacts with the metal of Jimmy.
It's gonna be 9 slashing.
9 slashing. Second here.
And
Alright.
that is gonna be my turn.
No problem. You can see he turns and he grits his teeth. The gaping hole and snarl of scar tissue that was his nose at one point kind of twists and becomes even more red. And he goes to try to shift and move the kind of temporal entropy that he's able to do, but he cannot take this reaction. And you slash down between joints. There are sparks. There's a little bit of blood. He still seems largely okay. Still very focused on Gibbs. Anything else, Shane?
That's it. I'm standing my ground here and trying to keep Sitsu pinned on the ground.
No problem.
Helping out.
Spice. You are laying on this couch, your eye completely missing, your head is still bleeding, and though Gibbs has stabilized you somewhat, you're in rough shape. You can see Bubs' back, beyond him, Jimmy 12 Toes, the rest of your friends kind of gathered around. Off to the other side is Echo and Arlen Sands, kind of in a cloud of vomit.
Ew.
Yeah.
So Spice is going to sit up a little bit dazed, see swift action, that there's unmanned alcohol there, take a shot,
Okay.
and then see that Jimmy 12 Toes is looking over at Gibbs, and she's like, that's a bad thing. And so she's gonna yell out, Gibbs, hurry! And then grants you an extra move action.
Fantastic. So you yell out, you take the shot and you slam it down. First of all, this not like a shot kind of whiskey. This is really nice. And as you like slam it down and you gulp down, there is like the faintest hint of like toffee and then overwhelming peat and fire and just like this like deep, dense. It's like a scotch. And you're just like, oh man, that was a waste.
Should've known.
But you yell out at everything here. The table that you're on, you had seen there are like several bowls of actual ramen. You can see chunks of like charred pork, like really actual food. This is not Eats Meats. This is the first place that you've seen real food in multiple places.
Oh man.
But yeah, you take the shot, you yell out to Gibbs. Anything else, Spice?
Which direction is... So we have heard or have not heard the ping of the elevator?
In that direction. So north is that way always.
Okay.
And so beyond that is like the hallway. Beyond the hallway is the marble floor and that kind of room. And then beyond that is the terrace that you guys fought your way through. So like the where the shuttle is very much a little bit closer than where your actual shuttle is.
So this is the way out
Yep.
towards the sun. Okay, so I'm gonna move her back against the wall and gun ready to shoot if this person coming out is hostile.
Okay, you take the shot, you toss the shot glass, which shatters against this table, and you stagger over. It's hard. You're limping. It's like, yeah, you're in rough shape, but you get over there. You really fall into the wall more than you put your back against it, but you're there. No problem.
All for space.
That brings us to the bad guy. So Arlen Sands, he is going to back up 10 feet towards me. If you could just shift him back, Ari. And reaching into his bag, he pulls out another grenade.
Of course he does.
Balance him on top.
You don't want
Echo, could you roll a d4?
Why?
Because you might get a bounce at somewhere.
I don't
There's a
want.
25% chance that it's cotton candy.
Ooh, okay.
It was cotton candy.
So it goes through. So you watch. He takes out this grenade, and as he
Oh, this is
presses
the
it,
whole, like-
all these spikes, these barbed hooks, spread out like a porcupine. And he goes to toss it, and his foot, right in the vomit that's pooled up from the condensation, he slips and lobs it, and it tosses out into the wall, like hits the wall, and seems to almost stick to elements that have congealed there. And then just you're able to dodge and move to a place where you do not get struck by the shrapnel, as it shifts all the way to the right. Very nice. That
Nice.
is him. Movement.
And this
action.
wall doesn't exist anymore.
That wall is no. That wall still does. It's the other room that you blew up the missile in. The marble room. This has all of its walls.
Oh, no.
And there is one window that is behind the hot tub. It's long, about 5 feet tall, and like really long, the whole length.
Right.
They're kind of rounded at the ends. But that is Arlen Sands, Jimmy 12 Toes. So Jimmy, looking down at you, you can see these eyes burning with hatred. You cast fear, and you can tell your arcane effect has taken hold, but it's no fear in his face. This is just fury. And he is going to go ahead and take a use Soldier's Onslaught. Gibbs. That is going to be... The low one is a 23.
No.
The only person that wouldn't hit is Bubbles.
These are not ranged, right?
These are not ranged. So he squeezes his hand, and you can see on this power glove that he wears, that makes his fist about 3 times the size of what it should be. He squeezes it, and you can see all along these lights light up as he powers it to full power. Gibbs, you are taking 21 points of bludgeoning damage, plus 29 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down. I'm down.
You are down. And so this Jimmy leans back, and as he squeezes it, and the lights blare up, he slams it down, and you impact this wet tile hard. And you watch as Gibbs just slams on the ground and does not get back up. But he's going to turn with that, and now that you're down, that fear drops.
No, because it's not concentration. So it just
okay.
continues to exist.
But he doesn't have to attack you anymore, correct?
Sure. I don't care. I don't want him to continue to attack
So
me.
he's
but
going to turn
be
around.
bad.
He can't move, but he levels his eyes at you, Bubs.
You know I'm right there.
That is Jimmy's turn. That is all the bad guys. That brings us to you, Bubs, followed by Echo. Bubs, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna say, you're outnumbered, Jimmy. You gotta give it up now. Ooh, that's an 18 plus 11. That is a 29.
29, that hits.
What was that?
It was
He's
one of
down.
the dice that you stole.
That he liberated.
4 plus 14, so 18 damage.
18, what kind of damage is that?
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning? Okay. You know, it seems very similar to you, Bubs. It's like the bludgeoning damage doesn't quite take the effect that you would imagine it would. Anything else?
I make like mental note of that, and I think that's my turn.
Okay. No problem. That is your turn. You look at Jimmy 12 Toes, you hit him, and he shifts a little bit, but he immediately turns back to you. It's like it barely even hurts him. But that is your turn, Bubs. That brings us to you, Echo Gibbs. You are on deck. Echo?
Echo's been largely unbothered by Arlen Sands, and
This guy keeps throwing stuff.
he just keeps throwing stuff.
The cloud in Mario.
And seeing Gibbs in trouble and recognizing that my allies can't leave from where they are with Dude there, Echo is going to very gently covered in boils. Gently maneuver and level their hail pistol at 12 Toes.
Okay. So slowly, covered in boils such as you are, you have to like lift one of them and move it over a part of your body
dislike
to
that
turn.
phrase.
But no problem.
All right, blue for the stealth. Ooh. Yeah. I like when I roll well. 32 for the stealth.
That succeeds.
Yay!
Nice.
And that's going to be a 27 to hit.
Against?
It's KSE.
Meets a pizza.
Yay! Wow.
Also,
He's he's the strongest. Well, he has the highest CR of almost anybody that you've even seen.
It's less the CR and more the KAC that would make me do the
But a giant dinosaur, and Jimmy 12 Toes is stronger.
They're very comparable.
Wow.
All right, so that's
Condensed.
5, 11, 18, 23,
Nice.
plus 3, 26 cold and piercing damage,
Nice.
Very nice.
and bleed effect
Nice.
Hang
for
on
my
one
operative
second.
level, which is 6.
Nice.
We love that.
That's so.
So as you slowly turn, you lift the boil over and you hold your arm up. And as you do, for anybody who turns over and looks, through the coveralls, the areas where you can see the biological elements of skin, they are red and inflamed. And it looks almost like there are bugs moving underneath it because of the liquid and the kind of edema that's happening there. But you level the pistol, and through the haze of pain that this is causing you, you depress the trigger. You, Bubs, as you swing and you slash into him, it barely hurts. He turns, ready to deck you. He already just dropped Gibbs, and then you see this bolt of dark ice streak across this battlefield, and it hits him right behind where the knee unlocks backwards, and you can see this big spark and then a gout of hydraulic fluid as it spreads across the floor. That is a good amount of damage. And instantly you can see that like he turns a little bit but then lowers his gaze at you, but for the first time a little bit uncertain as to who to attack. That's a good shot.
Nice.
Very, very nice. Anything else, Echo?
No, I've done my turn for the session.
There you go. That is your
Good for
turn,
the next
Gibbs.
3 hours.
I stabilize.
Okay,
I have my extra resolve points. I have enough.
there you go.
I have a quarter of them to stabilize.
So Gibbs, on the inside, as you're like everything is getting dark and you drop to the ground, this fist almost crushes you against the tiles. All of the tiles that kind of create the linoleum here just crack and shatter under your weight. And as you're about to go dark, you just bite your own tongue as hard as you can, and tasting the blood and feeling the hot pain just like brings you to the edge and doesn't quite let you drop over. You are stable. That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to the top of the initiative order.
Oh, sweet.
Jimmy 12 Toes still has Wisp Ally, and because it was my turn,
He has one more turn now,
you have
at the end of that turn.
he's -2 to his AC for the next person who fights him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Very, very
I didn't
nice.
remind you because I forgot, but we literally talked about
It's
it.
okay. Yeah.
Initiative 20. There's a ding. Yes.
There is. And so, Spice, from where you are, you can hear footsteps. You hear what sound like a pair of pretty quick footsteps and then a pair of a little bit more belabored ones. If you peek around the corner, getting to within 10 feet of where you are, taking their full move. Oh, no, because 4 times. They can get all the way up to where you are. However, they're not really able to do very much more. You can see Ranklin, this Yosoki, a little bit smaller, covered in blood. Like this is Carrie in Carrie, just like absolutely covered in blood. His fur all slicked against his body, but smiling, eyes bright. And then you can see Kinkashi, who's limping. He has like a burn across his face a little bit, looking a little bit more dinged up, but still like completely with it. Both of them have weapons. You can see Kinkashi dressed almost like a cowboy.
Gray Fox Cowboy.
Here, you can this is going to be our Ranklin. And then I lost my Kinkashi between last week and this week.
No.
No, so we'll just use, oh, well, I guess it's better than Mari. Yeah. So, Kinkashi is literally the knight in shining armor here.
There you go.
Kinkashi!
Oh, is that for Kaori?
Oh, man, now it is. So they rush up, and at the very end, you can see Kakashi just looks at you, and he's like out of breath, but he just looks across. He's looking for Bubs first, but then he sees you and just kind of goes, "We're here. I'm sorry." And then he like pulls up this gun, which looks like a sawed-off shotgun, but you know full well this is like a technological thing. They're now here in combat.
Finally, what took you so long?
Okay. That is going to bring us to Shade. What do you want to do? Spice around deck.
So, Exocortex, I'm gonna feint action against him again.
Okay.
And then, Rule of Cool, I want to full action attack, jump jets up so that I'm above, and then falling down, shoot the gravity gun to try and, because it pushes either away or towards me, to push him into the ground, and then land on him with the sword.
So that's
So it's just a full action attack, but that's how I'm trying to flavor
The 2 attacks are the gravity pistol and the sword.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gravity pistol to, because I think
I
on a
got
critical
you. I
it's
got
a
you.
knockdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I would say is for that, you're using your movement for these jump jets.
There's a full action though.
Yeah.
As part of the
no
full
problem,
action.
No problem. Okay, that makes
More
sense to me.
thematically.
That makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
All right. So first one's gonna be to feint with the exocortex.
And he's still flat-footed?
Not if he beats this, which it's probably gonna, because that was only a 24.
Yeah, 24 is not going to beat it.
Okay. And then just full action attack. So the first one's gonna be the gravity gun.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 28 to hit.
28. Yeah, 28 hits.
Cool.
Fuck, yes.
So now, does he have his reactions back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
he has
so-
reactions on this now.
Fuck.
What did you roll?
For the second attack,
Yeah. No, for the gravity pistol.
for
That
the
was a
gravity
20,
pistol?
29?
28.
28. Go ahead and re-roll that.
Okay. 23.
23, that is a miss.
With the -2?
With a -2, we decided this is KAC?
It didn't say, so you said you were gonna look it up because
Okay.
it's the gravity.
I think it's
gun.
KAC, though. I think we...
Oh no, it's the reflex save one.
Reflex.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay.
that's what it was.
Makes more sense.
It's yeah.
Here we go. So what is the DC for this reflex save?
This is
Fair enough.
This is what I'm working
It's probably it's probably your combat maneuver or like something like that, but we can look it up later. I'm gonna say with a 19 that is probably going to be a success.
with. Yeah, that's probably fair.
So no problem.
Cool. I'm still gonna try to stab him
Go for it.
with the other attack. That's gonna be 29.
29, that does hit.
Nice. Stab him. And I thematically am jumping down and landing on his like shoulder or something to stab it. Oh. That was hefty. 9 plus 12 points of slashing damage.
12 points of slashing damage. It really seemed like a question more than a statement. But,
He's
no,
I
down,
have to
right?
look at the
Gotcha.
additional. So yeah,
You dive up with the jump jets and you fire with the gravity pistol. You expect him to go down, but it just over him. And even with that knee that's damaged, it does cause his leg to like move a little bit on the tile, but doesn't get flattened. You slam down with the blade. You have to almost like inelegantly bounce off because of the way that you didn't anticipate him holding up against that. But no problem. You keep your feet. That is your turn, Shade?
yeah.
Alrighty. Spice, what would you like to do? You have Kinkashi and Ranklin right next to you.
Yes, because I planned out my turn.
Yeah.
Full action. Going to move over to Gibbs, who's down, and just lay on top of her protectively.
Okay.
Just like all fours, like, you know how Gibbs does that?
Yeah.
Like, and bares her teeth, Spice does that, but it looks weird because she is Lashunta, and like it's weird for her to act like a rodent.
So you limp over, you take your sniper rifle and use it almost like a crutch to get yourself over there. There is broken glass and like fragments of grenades. There is still a little bit of vomit that is like mixed with the water that's in this like sauna room. There is steam in the whole area, and with Gibbs's vomit cloud, it's kind of left this weird tang in the air and on the floor. And so through all that, it's hard to make it. But you get there and you like skid and crawl on top of Gibbs and you bare your teeth, and it looks very different than it does when Gibbs does, but the feeling is there.
Like her eyeball goo is just dripping down her face, and her whole body is shaking, and it's not very convincing.
Yeah, but no problem. That's where you are. That is your turn, Spice. Can you make an intimidation check just real quick?
Sure, I would love to.
Negative 20 conditional modifier though for the eye yoke.
I don't know. I feel like that's more intimidating to be functioning and having an eye like that.
17.
That's not bad.
Doesn't seem to really do too much in this moment. But that is your turn, Spice. That does bring us to Arlen Sands, Jimmy 12 Toes, and the Governor. So, Arland is going to... Ooh, those are great. That's a strong move right there. Arland is going to reach into his pocket, or into his little side bag. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. Echo.
Hi.
He's going to move,
How about another grenade?
another 10 feet closer to you. He's going to level the strange-looking pistol at you. And
like
you can
that.
see... you've seen him fire it before. It has these weird-looking kind of etchings into it. Although, Echo, you recognize this isn't magic, although it functions in very much the same way.
We got a wheel from Phoenix.
Yeah!
Little
Good evening.
fragments of code.
I don't
And
like
as
that.
he thumbs into it, you can see it switches something, and he's going to depress the trigger and fire at you. However, that is going to be a 13 to hit.
Echo just blinks and like whoop.
Blinks, and there's like a of steam, and then as he fires, the steam goes away, and you're just gone. Absolutely missing. Batman moment for Echo. That is Arlen Sands. For Jimmy 12 Toes. So Jimmy, very much focused now on you. There is a moment where his eyes dart over to Echo, but he's going to turn, and he is going to charge forwards with Soldier's Onslaught with 3 attacks.
Attack of opportunity.
Does he need
I'm
to?
next to him.
He doesn't need to move. Oh, wait. Is he
Oh,
more than 10
Olive
feet?
also.
No, he's not more than 10 feet.
Oh,
from
I
us,
thought he
though.
was charging though.
No, he's not charging. He's using Soldier's Onslaught is a soldier ability where feet for a
And
full
yeah,
attack.
he
you get
is
3 attacks.
still 10 feet.
Yeah.
So if he's not moving,
He's good.
I thought he was moving.
Okay.
Maybe you should.
But
Maybe we should move.
that is going to be a 28. A 28.
What?
And this is to hit against KSE.
Oh, no, I got 30.
Okay. And then the final one is a 38.
That's
And so, Bubs, you are going to be
holding
taking.
it off and then takes one to the
12 toes.
Ooh.
uses his last toe to flick you in the head.
He's another That's why Bubs hates him. He's got too many toes.
Stop. You're taking 38 points of bludgeoning damage, almost max damage, yeah. As he slams into you, he almost slides a little bit and the knee sparks, but he pulls himself up to full height. That is full action attack. Arlen Sands. The governor is going to. Well, He's gonna do nothing.
Sounds about right.
That is the bad guys. That brings us to you, Bubs. Echo, you're on deck. Bubs, from where you are, you take this huge blow. You can feel now, like blood beginning to pour out of you in places. What do you want to do?
Is that the best you got, 12 toes? Come on, show me what you're really made of. And then I'm gonna like do like a 360 like slam with the hammer.
Okay.
That's a 19 plus 11, so that's a 30.
Good
30?
rolls
30
for
hits,
Dan
yeah.
this
Yeah.
game.
Don't jinx it.
That's a 4 plus
I
18,
spoke too soon.
so 18 damage.
18. Hey, that's still pretty good.
Every bit counts. Every little bit counts. That's
I
actually
know
a lot
that.
of bit.
He
I know
punches
that so
you
well.
right in the chest, and you slide back 5 feet, and then using that momentum, swing the hammer around. You ask him if that's the best that he has, and you slam it back into him. He catches the hammer, and it shifts him back, and you can hear the metal in the joints of his limbs just as he catches it and stops the momentum, but does do damage. Anything else, Bubs?
That's the best Bub's got.
There you go. Echo, what would you like to do? Gibbs, you're on deck.
Seems like everyone's kind of clustered over there, and Echo's afraid of missing. So Echo's going to turn back to Arlen Sands, put a hand back down on the console of the dryer, and fling some more vomit mist at him.
Yeah, go for it. And
Gnarly.
as you go to and it's basically like you're hitting in public restrooms, the hand dryer, and all this like steam out. I would say this is the moment where now that you've manipulated this dryer a little bit, there are other controls that you can kind of find. And so using this wheel, go ahead and take a +4 conditional modifier.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you, Phoenix Soldier.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. So that's going to be a 26 plus 4 for a 30.
You needed that +4. Success. Very, very nice. Phoenix Soldier making it happen.
Thank you. And I did thank them too. And then that's going to be a 26 to hit the KAC
26 to hit the KAC.
on Arlen Sands.
On Arlen Sands. Yeah, absolutely that hits.
Cool. Let me just gather my dice.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. You guys can't see, but
And like Arlen Sands is
there's a
not
lot.
doing great for what it's worth. So.
Yeah, spent a lot of time in my vomit cloud.
So that's going to
It's like,
be
you guys should have moved.
9, 10, 18, 21, 24 cold and piercing damage.
Has Jimmy 12 Toes been taking his bleed damage?
No.
No.
he doesn't have that.
And Arlen Sands is also going to be taking some bleed damage.
Very nice.
Because I'm like, blood for the blood.
Jimmy 12 Toes starting to look kind of hurt. You can see now there are sparks, there's little bits of smoke, and every time he moves his right leg, there is this kind of noise that happens before the knee can unlock. He's starting to look a little rough.
He's bleeding.
But, sorry, Echo.
Damage to Arlen Sands, not 12 Toes.
We're right, but talking about the bleed damage.
Cool.
So for Arlen Sands, you were about to say something. Oh, you said he's also taking bleed damage?
Also bleeding.
Sort of, because as you level this pistol, you're expecting him to be like 10 feet further away, but as the like vomit steam clears away, and he's like coughing, his eyes like running with mucus because this has just been vomit in his eyes for the last probably the last 36 seconds. He is like right in front of your barrel, and he has just a moment where you can see like the bald head glistening with sweat, where he just goes, "What about?" And then you just depress the trigger and you erase his face. This ice,
It's bleeding.
this ice like enters into like right above the maxilla and just shatters everything in the frontal faceplate inwards. And in slow motion, it's almost like you watch in a cartoon somebody get punched in the face and the whole face disappears into the back, but it never comes back and it kind of exits through the rear.
I get my own scene from
He hits
Glory.
the ground and just immediately dead. Is Arlen Sands. Very, very nice. Anything else? Echo?
Yay!
That's it.
All right.
I'm
You're
still not
one-on-one-ing
moving.
that guy for a while.
That arms dealer is dealing no more arms. Gibbs.
So I have to spend a resolve point to stay in the fight. So I do that,
Okay.
and sort of on my belly, kind of shifting underneath Spice, I uncork my bottle and just drip a little bit into my mouth and realize exactly how little I have left.
Okay.
I can take my turn as normal, so I will spend my move action doing my last resolve point, emptying my bottle for the first time in the entire campaign entirely.
Do you have an extra move action this round also? Oh,
Because you
it was
hurried.
okay.
It was like 3 rounds
Gotcha.
ago at this point.
Okay.
Wheel, who heals the healer?
Yep, I got it.
So I will.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm gonna call him.
7.
Right behind.
7 plus 9 plus 8 is 17. So I heal myself for 17 damage with my move action.
Very nice.
Um,
The very last drop from this bottle. For the first time, it's empty.
Yikes.
And then similarly, I'm going to empty my other last
Start
resource
spitting back into
as
it.
I'm still struggling with staying conscious and trying not to provoke the fear again.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's the only guy I can do it. Okay, well, whatever, fine. Trying to just think about all the options that I have, and I lean back on the old goodies, and will mind thrust Jimmy 12 Toes at the first level, spending my very last spell slot on this. So I need him to make a will saving throw.
That is going to be a 20.
Okay, he still takes half damage. 8 plus 7 is 15. Divided by 2 is 7 psychic damage.
Okay.
As I divine the most vulnerable portion of his mind and overload it with my psychic. So I take the anger I see that he's kind of riding off of, and I start to think about how in those moments that like I know he's running on adrenaline and adrenaline only, being as outnumbered as he is. So I start to be like, someday that's gonna run out. And that's like the little voice I put in his head.
And as you put that in your head, you channel part of that from your own experiences. You have this empty bottle now on your back, cracked, empty, a situation you've never had before. But that is your turn.
Yeah, can I take a quick look at Sitsu, the words ringing in my head that he knows that we need him alive, and I just want to assess him to see if he's trying to like kill himself.
So you are like turning around and looking, and you're trying to use what, like a quick action to do this?
Yeah.
You're looking over, and you can see all 4 arms shifting around. He's like wriggling. Hard to tell what he's doing with that.
I think about the wriggling, and I
think
about it.
There you go. It's in your mind. That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to the top of the round. We are beginning with Ranklin and Kinkashi.
Nice.
So Ranklin is going to drop to all 4s. He shakes the blood off his fur, almost like a dog, and it's like partially coagulated, so it like goes out in an awful way. It's
Man,
like
after
silly
my own
string
heart.
almost. He like drops to all 4s, and he across the tiles. He's going to use his full action to get up to where Gibbs is. So dashes across this entire area, and then like sliding across. You can see in his mouth he is holding what looks like a very large, more advanced version of a healing serum, and he has it in his mouth, but he is just like covered in blood. And then Kinkashi, from where he is going to move 15 feet closer to where Jimmy 12 Toes is to get into range. And you're holding the blade, correct, Shade?
Blade, gravity gun.
Okay, actually get him 10 feet closer then. And then he is going to level this sawed-off shotgun-looking thing. And he's going to go ahead and miss.
Damn it!
But as he drops and he fires, you can see there is no bullet. This is not a concussive blast. Or actually, this is very much only a concussive blast. There's no shrapnel. This is just a... It's not a sonic boom. This is force. This is something that seems to accelerate like a localized physical force into things. And so this just... And working almost like your gravity gun, but instead of designing to move, it is hyper localized to like pierce. Yeah, it's a
Like
damage
that
thing.
thing in No Country for Old Men.
Haven't seen it, but not a sponsor. That is Ranklin and Kinkashi. That is going to bring us to Shade, followed by Spice.
Cool. I'm gonna attack the fuck out of this dude. This time I'm gonna do a full attack, flat-footed, or gonna attempt to flat-foot him, and then full attack using the sword for both attacks.
Okay. So this is what, a save?
Yeah, well, the first one's gonna be feint exocortex feint and
Okay.
then attacks. Yeah. Ooh, nice. So that's gonna be 33.
33.
Yeah.
33 is a success. Sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking.
So flat-footed.
I'm doing math wrong.
Flat-footed. So the
I was
AC
like,
is
wait,
Your face.
40?
So
How
now
is there a 40 in here?
-4 for the full attack, +2 for the wisp ally. And
That's not concentration. There's no way.
so I think
I don't believe
it'll
so.
balance out
It's
because it's the -2 AC from being
So
flat-footed.
it's just a -2, like flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's gonna be a 30 something to hit.
Huh?
There's no more whisper.
But you still.
So,
He's flat-footed,
30.
Take 2 more away from whatever it was before.
Take 2 more away.
Because
yeah,
the
yeah,
wisp
yeah.
ally's down.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, okay. So then it's 29.
29 still succeeds.
Nice. And then I'll roll the second attack. That second one's not gonna hit. Just gonna 2.
Okay.
And damage.
If you didn't know this was combat, you'd think this is an orgy.
It's gonna be
Oh, because of that like one little area? Yeah. It's an assault too.
9 points of slashing.
9 points of slashing. Okay.
Does that mean Echo's the weirdo in the background just watching?
Yeah, you're the cameraman.
Don't shame that person. So you slash at Jimmy 12 Toes, and right now he is kind of at the midst of this combat. Bub's right behind him, exchanging blows
Just like
with him.
hacking away at his back.
Suddenly Gibbs is back up underneath Spice, just lobbing spells. And for the very first time after that strike, he is beginning to look for options. You can see his eyes look beyond you. He looks at the window, this long 5-foot tall window. But that is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Spice, followed by the bad guys.
Spice is going to like look down between like her 2 arms and go, I can't have you dying before we go get a buffet. And then she's gonna get up and then take her carven steel blade and try to swing it at Jimmy 12 Toes.
Okay, yeah, make your attack roll.
There's like a 2% chance that this hits, but we'll try. A dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20, that is a failure, unfortunately.
Of course it is.
You swing and it just clang, and your arms just vibrate painfully. You feel the yolk of your eye like out from it. Yeah, it's gross. But you're not feeling good. That
so
is a miss.
If I step away, is that an attack of opportunity?
You can't break up your movement.
I didn't.
Didn't you step 5 feet closer to get to him?
Oh, I must. Did I?
Because you're under
like
Gibbs, so you
on
need to be
top of
5 feet
Gibbs.
closer.
Well,
I guess I'll.
we. Oh no.
Um,
We
In the
would
chaos of.
we would have been within 5 feet of each other because he was originally within me. So it's just the minions
it was
moved.
this. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
fine then.
yeah, sorry.
No worries. So then, yeah, you can move
the
away.
rings.
You imagine it may provoke an attack of opportunity. You've seen him do a couple different things when he needs to react, so hard to tell.
I'm gonna risk it.
Okay.
I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is steam. What is this again? This was The a dryer.
It atomizes water and just makes it into vapor, so it like instantly dries people basically.
Can I use it as cover?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Smells
Ducking
gross
behind
as
there.
fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You duck into it. It's hot. It's probably about 110 degrees, and so it's like very, very warm and just reeks of vomit. But no problem. You duck down in there for cover. Your eye is missing. You feel gross, but you are there. That is your turn. Spice, that brings us to the bad guys. So the only... Well, first, the governor is just going to do something. No, he's not. So, Jimmy 12 Toes. Jimmy 12 Toes...
Fear is gone now.
Huh?
It only lasted 4 rounds.
I know.
Fear is
I know. But he is not afraid of you anymore. Now, he is a little bit more concerned about self-preservation. And so, you watch as a swift action, Jimmy 12 Toes just kind of closes. The leg snaps almost shut with that damage from you, Echo. And then as a move action, he is going to spring, and exploding outwards, he is going to move forwards. This does provoke an attack of opportunity from
Ah, shit. I shouldn't.
Shade Gibbs.
And me.
hang on. Shade, Gibbs, Bubs, and
Franklin.
Franklin. Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to use my gravity gun to try to pull him back.
Although actually, yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So what's the order in which that goes then?
The order is going to be Shade, followed by Bubs, followed by Gibbs. And then Franklin will go last.
Does a 28 hit?
So this is a reflex save, correct? We figured?
It has to hit and then the reflex
28
save.
does hit.
Okay, now reflex save against.
23.
I don't know. Is it competing? That's the part that I'm hung up
Gotcha.
on.
There is a formula to find, and you would find it like based on it's in your class. But don't worry about it now. I'm going to tell you that's probably not going to succeed.
All right.
But we'll look it up after. So that
So it gets
unfortunately,
pulled?
though
he
it
doesn't.
hits him, it
Okay.
kind of dissipates around him. Doesn't seem enough to pull against this almost like spring-like motion that propels him forwards. So that's your reaction. Bubs, go ahead and make your attack roll if you want to. He dives out of the way of your range.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's gonna hit.
That's a 16 plus 11, so 27.
27.
Yes.
That would hit, but as you swing forward with your hammer and he dodges out of the way, you just said, "Is that the best that you had?" And then he just, as he's like dodging slow motion, he turns and you feel the forces of physics around you bend. Re-roll that attack.
Ah, fuck!
Jimmy Trout.
This is what he saved his reaction for.
Yeah, I bet.
Ah,
What if it's a nat 20?
I mean, that would be dope.
No,
that's a
it's,
5.
it's not.
And so as you swing, it's about to go straight into him, and there is a ripple in reality as the entropic effect just tears away the energy in that space and pulls your hammer down, and you miss as he flies forwards.
Jimmy Trail Toes.
Frank Gibbs, go ahead if you would like to.
Yeah, does a 6 hit?
So right as Bubs is about to hit, you and bite Bubs right on the arm, and Bubs is like unable to swing. You almost like slam Gibbs into the floor and have to pull back at the last second. But no problem.
Franklin
never
that is a miss.
Yeah.
Ranklin, he's got this. Kill him, Ranklin.
So with his move action, he can go 30 feet.
Ranklin's still got to attack.
Oh, that's true. Ranklin does get to attack. Although
How does Ranklin
Ranklin is
attack?
going to attack with an unarmed strike because he's holding this in his mouth and he doesn't have a weapon ready.
It's the Yosoki way.
Maybe he scratches him and it
You want my
gets
stats?
infected
He
and
hits
dies.
with an unarmed strike on Jimmy 12
Whoa.
toes
Nice.
He kills him.
for 2 damage.
Woo, Ranklin!
So
Go!
Every
Ranklin
little
feeling
bit
serum in
helps.
his mouth as he like leaps over, and you like look over and you try to bite and you bite Bubs. He like reaches out and slashes across. It barely does anything. You see sparks, but it's still damage.
How much distance does he make?
30 feet. And so if he
30
can,
feet?
it has to be 30 feet in a diagonal straight line. Yeah, so he's going to just shatter that window. And you watch the final moment of this slow motion Bubs as you see these 2 glowing eyes
Oh, I can catch up.
vanish into the sand and just down.
So he kills himself off the side of the building. We
He's
go find his
bleeding
body
all the
later.
way. He's bleeding all the way.
He is, yeah, he's just trailing
Trail
blood
of
behind him.
blood.
You
You're
gotta
gonna go chase him, aren't
You
you?
can't just assume I'm gonna chase him. Are you kidding me?
I know you are.
Jimmy Trout
But that
Toes?
is Jimmy's turn. That is the last of these bad guys. And so, because Jimmy 12 Toes was the last, that is going to take you all out of initiative.
Can we chase him?
Give me 1 second here.
After his turn, it's my turn, and I would literally I have 30 feet of move action for my.
Spice is gonna take
Jetpack.
her reaction to smash you out of the way and be like, it's not worth it!
So what I
You
would
don't
say
know
is,
that.
what I would say is, go ahead and make competing athletics checks.
Can I?
Is that what we're
That's
actually
over
doing?
with
Okay.
my
You're gonna
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
me
absolutely.
from my revenge?
You don't have to make a check. Give me a second. We'll catch
You
up with
weren't
that.
there that
Just to
giant
get to the
episode.
window
I
and see if I can
wasn't.
take a shot.
You weren't there.
One would
Make
think
your
I'd be
athletics
more
checks.
upset about him downing you. But
Yeah, Spice was actually just waiting on the ship for that whole episode.
It's not gonna be good. Athletics.
I got a 9
A 9.
I got-
Athletics, though.
Oh,
It's gonna be
22.
plus 5, so.
Haha, I beat you.
What?
So
You
small.
go, and Spice stretches in front of you and doesn't put her hands
Babe, it's
on you.
not the time!
Such a
But you look at Spice in the way, and you can see her eye is missing. Part of her head is like caved in, barely hanging on, but she summons the strength to stop you. And it's really that you can't bring yourself to shove through Spice, because that would absolutely, like, you feel like you might kill her if you push past. However, Shade has no such issues. And Shade, you
How
bye.
did you do this?
I-
Billy?
What are you doing exactly?
Can I see him
So
when I get to the window.
jump just 30 feet,
40 feet.
40 feet. How are you at seeing through obscured?
With my Android exceptional vision.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm looking.
Yeah, but
It does
Does
not
it
let you
help
see
you
through
It
through
doesn't
obscure.
say obscured.
No,
It says
okay.
low light and
Yeah.
dark
so
vision.
unfortunately, all that you see is just sand. There's a dense sandstorm.
Can I try to activate my combat tracking on him?
What's the range on combat tracking?
It's, I think, my sight. So,
Well, you can't
So
see.
zero.
Yeah.
So perhaps, but it's
well,
still-
actually, oh no, never mind.
yeah.
It's got to be in sight.
So the targeting reticle is just like looking around, but
Seeking it out.
cannot get a lock, and it seems as if they have vanished through. Although 4 stories up, hard to imagine you would
This
survive
is
that.
not the last time
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I know
I've got
it.
stabilizing
So
screens. This is probably fine.
And so for that, I am going to
So
drop
sad.
you out of initiative.
I'm gonna push Franklin away and tell him to use the healing serum on somebody else who needs it. And I will take some of Jimmy 12 Toes' blood from the ground and put it into my biological compass
Okay.
and hand that to Bubs
Oh.
and say, sorry, but we got one of them. And I look at Sitsu and I start to sort of take over the captor role as much as Shade will let me to try and make sure that he stays alive.
So Shade is nowhere near him at this
Having-
moment. Shade is right out the window, so you
Yeah.
can go over
So I
there.
will chuck.
Once I recognize he's gone, I'm gonna go back. And
Okay, we'll get there in a second.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you
So
have
first,
the
you
biological
take-
compass.
It is not about. It's an absolute compass.
Nice.
And the reason that that's important is because as you put this in and you slide this over, Bubs, you can see data just across the screen, and then there is just this ding, and you can see it's like that percentile sign. It seems to be locking on to Jimmy's biological signature. And from what you've heard about this device, if it is not the last of Jimmy 12 Toes, you'll know pretty soon. In fact, in about an hour. So,
But I
excellent use of that item.
I hand you the keys to your revenge so we can move the fuck on. And I
Hey, I reserved a revenge for you sometime in February. Here it is.
we'll go up to Sitsu and start to like tighten the ropes and like make sure the things are locked and empty his pockets
Okay.
and just sort of start to like dress him down to be our prisoners for life, sort of like a little bit chittering as I go, just sort of like, man, I'm really like my head fucking hurts, like you don't look so good yourself, you know, like just sort of like casual bedside manner talk.
As soon as you start like working on these fetters and kind of like manipulating the elements and trying to secure him even more, he turns and he just says, "Who is it that you work for? I could make you very rich."
I'm sure you could. I know you could. And I know that would probably be easy. And it's quite tempting, I'm sure. But I guess this is the line we both have to walk. And I'm sorry. But please, don't make this harder. I want to treat you fairly and kindly.
I was
Well,
gonna go over and knock him out.
Again, Red, stop!
Right at the last moment. First, make a diplomacy check.
Yeah, once I recognize that we're not catching Jimmy,
Nice.
I'm going back. and knocking him out.
22.
Okay. You say, "I want to treat you fairly." And you can see these big gold eyes look up at you. You can see this like beautiful gold suit, although clearly armored. The 4 arms currently bound. He looks at you and he says, "I almost wish," and then boom, Shay just boom, and you get the sense that you made a little progress right there, and then Shay just knocks him unconscious.
And I'm gruffly picking him up and heading to the ship.
Wait,
Can I call Meeg and be like, we're on our way, get the ship ready?
Absolutely, yeah.
as they're doing that, Echo's toddling over to Arlen Sands and like gingerly going through his stuff.
Nice.
Franklin, so as soon as you say use it on somebody else who needs it more, he spits it out into his little paws and he goes over and he looks over at Echo, who is covered in these like awful looking blisters, each one at this point now roughly the size of an orange, and so full of pus, and every time that Echo takes a step, they all move, and so you can see Franklin just goes, this isn't going to do it. And he puts it away, and he pulls out one that is just like, it's almost pitch black. It looks like it's full of tar. And he like scampers across, and you hear like right behind you, sorry about this. And just,
Are you qualified?
and he depresses the lever, and you feel it's like almost sharp ice just fills your veins. And then all of these blisters just begin to pop. And though there is like pus and blood, it is not acidic in the way that it could have been. And so you...
Do I take damage from this?
No damage.
Okay.
It's really more for
Plus
flavor.
damage.
The boils and blisters pop. And they would have actually exploded, dealing acid damage to those around you, had you not had this lesser restoration put upon you.
Nice.
Appreciated.
It's an ampule. But he just kind of nods and he goes, "You're lucky I was here, or else this would have been a lot worse." And he just kind of like crosses his arms and he turns around, stomps back over to where Gibbs is.
Thanks.
I'm gonna look at Spice and just be like, I could have got him, babe. You know I could have gotten him.
I know, but we're not the time, babe. We're here to get Tsitsu.
You get a message back from me which just says, "Hurry."
We gotta go.
Already. How far we've gotten.
As I'm running out, I want to go. Like,
Gibbs, go ahead and make a
body of
perception
Jebediah
check as you
Hex.
like now with like Shade holding him over his shoulder. You begin to rifle through his pockets. You have to like jump up and like go through a pocket, land.
Nat 1, but there was a wheel I didn't get to use.
Go ahead and re-roll
Joe,
it.
can I loot Jebediah Hex's body?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead and make a perception. Perception check.
18 plus 13 is 30. 31?
31. 31's pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
With Shade holding him, he's all tied up. You just like leisurely go through his pockets. So over the course of all of you walking, Gibbs, you are able to go through pretty much everything. So Gibbs, you are looting the governor.
Yep.
You were looting who?
Jebediah Hex, I got 18.
Okay, so we'll get back to that in a second. Well, and so Echo, who are you going over to?
Arlen Sands.
Yeah, it was in that 20 and then it bounced. So it's a total of 13.
There are 2 wheels that we are currently waiting on. You use one. Go ahead and re-roll that, and we'll have both. Thank you, Nort, and thank you. There was one other one, and I forget who it was. Phoenix we already
Soldier.
used.
Talon?
There's 3 I saw.
Talon throw?
Talon subscribed.
Oh, Talon.
Nice.
Thank you, Talon.
Thank you, Talon, for joining us again and again and again.
It's a 15.
A 50. So, starting with the governor. Over the course of the time that this is like maybe 45 seconds as you are all dashing, staggering, limping. Many of you take like a quick 10 seconds to go through, but you get like a good chance to go through. This individual is wearing what is called a Abadar Corp travel suit. This armor, it's light armor, it looks just like a very nice suit, but it provides a substantial amount of protection. He is also wearing, you see what looks like a little bolo tie. These 2 like black strands that clasp up on what looks like a little piece of ivory, but there is something technological to it. And you recognize this, not just a little accessory. This is in fact an all-purpose accessory. And when you manipulate this can become a grappling item. This can become several items, in fact.
Nice.
You also recognize that within Sitsu's kind of gear, very similar to the weapon that was wielded by Arlen Sands, there is what is called a data pistol. This is a Terra data pistol, and you can see it has these little elements of code, very similar to the arcane sigils that you can produce, although these elements of code allow you would imagine, to change the damage type
Wow.
between bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
That's cool.
And then that. Oh, and it has a modification on it that allows it to collapse into a concealed space. And so this weapon, especially cool. And that is what you find.
Cool. I throw that all in my Starfinder backpack.
Okay.
Because I have no space resistance
Yeah, no
anymore.
problem. Stick it all
And
in.
then can I also ask Franklin, hey, can you run to the ship and grab my medical gurney and bring it to the kitchen?
He turns and he just goes, "Which ship?
The one on the terrace, please.
The purple one that's on fire."
Yes.
Oh,
On fire?
I don't think.
It's okay. It just broke the shields. Healthily.
Apparently
He
it's
turns-
on fire now.
I don't think it's just the shields, mate. I'm sorry, but I can try. And he just begins to like scamper back.
Nice. I hope I get my medbay gurney back, because it's a sad medbay if there's no gurney.
Yeah. So, no problem. He runs over there. For the next person, Echo, you rolled a 15? Mm-hmm. So with a 15, unfortunately, as you manipulate the Lashunta temp weave that this individual is wearing underneath, you smear it across elements of the boils that ruptured before they were able to cure. The acid sinks into the fabric, and you watch as it breaks. So that, unfortunately, unusable.
Spice
However,
doesn't see it. It's okay.
you do find one microbot grenade, and this is one of those grenades that has many little miniature robots that are tucked inside, almost like a drone swarm that is in a grenade. You can also recover one Mark II anti-gravity grenade, and then one pheromone grenade.
Ooh, I like that one.
And that is what you find. And then,
Can I take the damaged temp weave, or?
yeah, you absolutely can. It's damaged. It's pretty badly damaged, but you absolutely can. Bubs, what was your check?
18.
And this is on Jebediah Hex.
Yes.
I don't mind. You can touch
One second here. With the 13 with Jebediah Hex.
18.
Oh, with an 18.
Yes.
You find a very strange little device. This thing is like the closest thing that you could think of it is in the Blair Witch Project, that weird looking stick humanoid figure. This is like a bundle of wicker sticks. And as you like touch it and manipulate it, it feels very strange to you. There's something about it that makes your fingertips feel almost numb. And you get a similar feel sometimes, very, very faintly from Gibbs. So
We
this is
got a wheeling
probably
deal.
magical in some way. You also find a cred stick. And that is what you find.
He's the only one with money.
He's the only one that's carrying money on his person right now. Yes.
A cred sticks. So
That you
cred
guys
stick
found.
and weird stick.
Sorry?
Weird stick and cred stick.
Weird stick and cred stick. And for functional purposes, this is something known as a gimmick.
A what?
A gimmick.
A gimmick.
This is something for more mystical folk. That is what you find. And then was anybody else searching anybody else?
I'm just
Okay,
full on
book it,
mission.
book it. No worries.
Yeah.
You make your way through this room.
Phew, catch up.
You rush over, like hook around the left, and Echo, you make it before everybody else, no problem. You rush through this area. You go through a kitchen, this beautiful black tile kitchen, industrial, like a island little stove area and everything. Beautiful like food preparation area. There is a big ice bucket that is full of oysters. You can see like all kinds of real food in this place.
Can Spice slows her jog a little bit and sees if there's any liquor hanging out?
Well, we'll get there in a second because this
Okay.
is still like a good.
Okay.
It takes you guys 45 seconds to get there. Echo gets there in 10.
Okay.
And so Echo like stops, sits down, like checks her Facebook. It's like a whole, whole thing. But you get there, you rush up, and you can see similar to the shuttle GPF Bad Day, although this a little bit more Lashunta in design. Although it seems like there's probably like the GPF uses a modular framework and then builds different things. This is a GPF shuttle. You can see painted metallic blue. It has the number 24 written across it, and you can see the back open. You can see all the way through like an empty cargo bay. Turning around in the captain's seat is Meeg, who has this running. You can see the thrusters are like kind of dimly lit and ready to go. Everything is warmed up, and all you have to do is just board. But she's ready.
Echo pauses outside to wait for the team to provide cover if
No
needed.
problem.
And what number was painted on the side?
24.
24.
And so you, Spice, slow your roll a little bit as you get to the kitchen. There are oysters. You can see there's a huge double-doored fridge that is probably a walk-in, actually. And through the window, you can see hanging frozen slabs of real meat, like sides of beef. You can see that there are in these 3 ice buckets different kinds of champagne. There are all kinds of things here. There's a wealth of food in this entire place. But Shay,
Yeah.
you dash forwards. Bubs, you dash forwards as well?
Yeah.
No
Spice
problem.
is going to grab a slab of meat and a bottle of champagne
Okay.
in her 2 arms.
Slap of meat. Throw it on your eyeball.
When I say slab of meat, you pop this open and instantly vapor comes out, like the cold differential instantly making this condensation happen.
Rocky.
This is Rocky Balboa, half of a entire cow. This is not like slabs of meat.
She's drying. She's like, we gotta
No
get
problem.
need it.
With your strength,
have to
you don't
give
need
it to
make a
Gibbs.
check. It does add another minute onto this entire endeavor, so it doubles
Meek's
the
like,
time.
get the
But
fucking
you
shit.
toss this over, and so it takes all of you get on. you have like a slab of like you just take one like chunk and you rip it off. You have 2 ribs of beef that are just up against your eye. But it takes like 2 extra minutes, and Meeg turns around after you're all loaded on, and it just goes, and you can see for a moment there is this look that it instantly becomes stony again, but this look of like fear and sadness, and like everybody comes back looking like shit except for Spice, and Spice already in bad shape when she left. You can see like Meeg fears the worst, and then Spice staggers around the corner holding half of a frozen cup, just meat and everything, and Meeg you can hear Meeg just goes, "Are you fucking?" And just you hear she turns, and like the engine starts up, the wind picks up, but you lug this half a cow onto the ship.
And the vodka or whatever, yeah.
And a bottle of champagne.
So I'm like, wow, this is healing shit.
Everybody, like, she shakes it up and sprays it all over everybody. We did it!
We are not on the ship yet.
You load yourselves aboard Meeg's shuttle. And at this point, you explode out. She punches into the ship, and all of you kind of have to catch yourselves as it slams you into the metal. There are places here where you could probably clip in chairs, but this is right now set to like a modular storage mode, and so just empty back here.
Can I text Ranklin and Kanashi?
They're with you.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody here.
Then
The
can I
ship-
just
so you
text
guys
them
are
all the
packed.
coordinates?
Do you want
of-
to see the ship?
Yes.
Oh,
You
yeah!
can just talk to people.
Well, I want to text them all the coordinates so they have them forever.
Of what?
Of the super sneaky space place.
So for reference,
What is
guys
the super secret?
are all packed into a space that is literally this small. So it is all 6 of you, Sitsu, Ranklin, and Kinkashi, packed into a space that's probably built for about 6 people.
Nice. I make sure I fart so everyone gets to enjoy it.
So as soon as you slam and you guys take off into the air, the ship screams. These thrusters are powerful, and it's a little bit less fast than your original shuttle, but you can feel this entire thing heavily armored, composite steel on the outside. This is a military shuttle. But you tear away into the sandstorm, and immediately as you do, there is like, you hear like an explosion. There is fire that you can see falling through, and there is like one of these abominations of a ship. At one point, it may have been one of these Anubis dynamic ships that you've seen pirates using before, but it has been cobbled together with a million bits of junk. This is a Yosoki craft, almost certainly, and it just like through the sand as it seems to have like scored a hit on one of these drow ships. But there is fighting that is happening all around you. Meeg, for her part, goes really low to the ground. And after about 2 minutes, you guys clear out of the city and are flying maybe 20 feet above the desert. Still with the sandstorm moving. Is there anything that you're doing? You know it'll only take you, in this craft, probably about 5 minutes to get back to the Worm-Chewing Wastes.
Ranklin, I grab his face. Did you have any losses?
He turns and he just holds and he just goes, "This isn't my blood, love." And he just like tries to like push you away with his little paws.
I let him go.
Okay.
Wait, what happened? Are the ruby eyes okay?
We didn't take any losses on our part. You guys didn't either?
No, everyone's here.
This is pretty successful then, all in all.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And they took a lot of losses, let me tell you.
Ah, that's awesome. It's gonna be so hard for them to rebuild. Oh my god, this is amazing!
He just down the seat and he looks up at you and he goes, "Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Me and Socrates have been doing a lot of, uprisings, rebellions, things like that. And the Ruby Eyes have always needed us for that. This is a lot of damage. And Socrates doesn't think they're going to stick around here because it's not really worth it if they keep doing this, that is. So, scavengers law. They won't really need us around here. And so we've been talking. We have some ideas, but we'll talk about it when we get back to the ship."
Absolutely.
And so he kind of like sits back down, and he is tired. He closes his eyes. You can see Kinkashi is also like sitting down. He's shaking a little bit, not covered in blood, but like probably the most combat that Kinkashi has ever seen.
Yeah.
He's ridden a desk for a long time.
Old man.
And I start to like assess like them as like I can't do anything about it, but
Yeah.
like I flitter around.
Make a medicine check.
Cool.
For the rest of you, is there anything that you're doing over this 5-minute trip? You have
Natural 20 and my medicine's the highest thing except
Kinkashi has taken 12 damage. Ranklin has taken 17 damage. They're both looking great. Stamina damage.
Spice is just gonna go up behind Meeg in the driver's seat and like put her hand on her shoulder and just nod, even though she can't see out of her eye. She just knows that she's there.
For just a moment, you feel her tense up, and then she turns and she goes, "What are you going to do with all that beef?"
I have a
Spice,
big...
you're missing an eye.
So I'm going to put it in my eye. What do you think?
She turns.
I can fix it.
She turns and looks back over, and this is like probably right around the time that you roll your natural 20 and you're like doing your little Yosoki face like all over Ranklin. You're like pulling his cheeks out at this moment, and she just goes, "I'm sure you will." She turns back around and just like straightens back up. But Spice, in your mind, she speaks to you psychically using this Lashunta connection that you have.
Yeah.
And she says, "Spice, you said Mari got out?"
Yeah. We're going back to meet her. Are you ready to see her?
Even though you're speaking in the mind, she nods. And in the mind, she says, "I think we're going to get out of here. I'm going to see if she wants to come with me. I don't know what we're going to do."
Spice bites. Well, actually, Spice is like jumping up and down with excitement. And she's like, "Meeg," in her mind, she's like, "Meeg, I'm so glad you decided to come with us. I know you're not like Mari. You're stoic and loyal and soft-spoken, but I'm so glad you're here back with us. Mari is going to be so excited to see you, and we're going to find something better. We're all not going to be a part of the GPF, and I'll help you find somewhere to go."
That's the thing, Spice. There's a lot happening.
Like what?
They've been gathering things for a long time now,
Do you know
in a
what-
way that I haven't seen since the Vesk War. And there's something coming, and I don't know how far away we can get, and if it's even possible to outrun. But one thing at a time. We'll get back to the ship, and if you can get us to the Eclipse Mall, we can figure something out from there.
Okay. There's a guy I know at the Eclipse Mall who might be able to help us. Do you know Lydell?
No, but if you could introduce me, I'll appreciate that.
All right. Sure, I can introduce you. He's a skis from Jacinto, but he's what I got.
Okay. She just kind of nods a little bit. And at this moment, there is like a... and you burst through the wall of the sandstorm, and the sun... Or actually, let me see what time it is real quick. I think it's night.
The other
No,
side.
no. It's right afternoon. So yeah, the sun hits you, and you explode out into the daytime, and you can see the canyon just yawning in front of you. And Meeg turns and just says, "So where are you guys?"
I ping her the coordinates.
Okay, you just send them to the ship. They blink, and as you do, Shade, there is a moment where it stalls, and you feel it just kind of hang in countermeasures. But she waves it through, and it like clinks into this navigational system. But this is certainly like a military craft. It's not something you could just beam data to.
Yeah.
But she tips forwards, and the ship slowly dips down, sinks into the ravine. The light cuts off, and you guys are again in a little bit more darkness.
As
You
we
make your way
approach,
back.
Echo calms the director to let them know that we're coming.
Okay, no problem. You ping that. And you get a little acknowledgement, wordless, but from the director, you hear that.
He sends you a thumbs up.
Little thumbs
Just
up
like,
in the
"What?"
red.
The director likes that.
But you make your way back, and as the ship pulls up through this vertical canyon space to where the area levels off, and you can see your ship, you can actually see the med bay chair that you usually sit on has been wheeled out, and Mari is like sitting there, almost like you might like suntanning, but in the dark cave, just like sitting there on their communicator now, just like looking at something. But they kick back up when they see you, and you can see Mari kicks, and these hover skates like flare to life, and she skates across the space, meeting you guys as you land. But all of you now, you can see there is a number. Give me 1 second here. Let me change the music a little bit.
Yeah, no
Ooh,
more
that's
doom and
fine.
gloom. It should be like, do, you guys achieve something, level up.
We achieved a level up. We're level 7 now. Level up.
We didn't fuck this up. We somehow succeeded.
On the impossible mission.
No one
As
died.
you land this craft, all around your ship, there are a few additional of these sand skimmers that you had seen and taken, in fact. 2 or 3 of them, and are gathered around with Mari is Socrates, Rita, and a few other Yosoki. You can see actually holding like a little pilot's helmet, very, very dirty, is Donut.
Donut!
But as the shuttle bay like opens, all of these people kind of like rush in, and there are these two groups that meet right at the bottom of the gangplank. Spice, are you just taking this meat?
I feel like she kind of left it for Gibbs to take care of if Gibbs wants it.
Okay.
I will
You're
get
like,
it later.
you know what? I really want to make sure this meat is on this shuttle.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I want to get it. No problem. So you leave the meat. These two groups like crush together. Rita immediately, like, you feel the Yosoki hands on your face, and Rita just goes, "Golly, Gibbs! Oh, everyone, really, you did it! You actually did it!"
And look at who we got! And I point to whoever's on to Sisu, who's on Shay's shoulder.
Okay, and you could just see it's like Sitsu's back legs, and he's unconscious on the shoulder.
I'm bringing him to our ship.
Okay, but walking across, so now you could just see all four hands fettered, like limp over top Shade as Shade just walks up the gangplank. No problem. You do that.
Echo's gonna look for Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates at this point is like hobbling over. You can see he has a very, very nice white, like plasteel cane, and he is now like moving a little bit better. He is still huge head that is way outsized for his body. This Yosoki, very short, but the head almost like as wide as he is tall. He makes his way over and, yeah,
Were you involved in the action on the ground level?
no. He turns and looks down at his leg. I am not what you would consider dynamic on the ground.
Would you happen to know the fate of the employees of the Eats Meats distribution facility?
I would imagine dead. The entire facility was leveled. Almost the first place struck, really. Anyways, they will almost certainly, he just like goes right into this, they will almost certainly pull back after this. This was a tremendous amount of damage, and I can't imagine it's worth keeping a little Blackwater place like Perdido.
What about Ali's Inn?
What about it?
I hope it still stands.
As far as I know, it does.
Thank God.
You can see Mari at this point, like with the skates and everything. She just goes, "I'm sure Aui's fine. She can take care of herself."
Yeah, I'm sure she can. I wish I could have seen her before we left.
Hey, Spice, what you did here? No small task. And your friends are formidable, and you won them back over.
Couldn't have done it without you. And she smacks Gibbs on the back.
This may be a shared victory, but this is really your victory, my friend.
Spice is gonna look up and look around the room and see her best friends that she grew up with. She's gonna see Kinkashi, who she like sees as like a father figure, and she sees the love of her life and her chosen family, and she coworker, teammate.
Yeah, you see your teammate, the love of your teammate. And yeah, as you look at Meeg and Mari, who like gathering together for the first time probably since Meeg arrested her, you see they make eye contact, they cross, like they're about to hug, and then Mari just punches Meeg in the stomach. Meeg punches Mari in the stomach, and then they hug.
Yeah.
But there's that brief moment, and then fine. But
Is
you look
this
around,
a variation on the Lashunta fist bump?
Very close!
you're looking around, and like it's this moment
doubles
where
over
everybody's
laughing.
like everybody's tired, bloodied, smoking, like the little elements of smoke still coming off of Donut. Everybody is hurt. There's like everybody's smiling, and like there's this moment where they're hugging, and then Echo goes, "Is this like the Lashunta fist bump?" And everybody just turns and
Spice punches Kinkashi in the dick.
because she's and just immediately falls dry
Listen
arrested.
to fist bump!
Everybody else just looks super uncomfortable.
I'm gonna punch Spice in the dick!
Okay.
Spice
So you-
like pretends to fall over and go,
Oh, your eye!
so much. Yeah,
yeah. You can see
I wait for
everybody-
someone to punch me in the dick!
Spice returns it to the ground.
No problem. So that happens. Not a single person other than Mosaic Team 5 engages in this activity. And I would say only 2 of Mosaic Team
Yeah, right?
I don't know if this is all of Mosaic Team 5.
So Spice and Gibbs, you punch Mikashi and each other in the crotch.
We're
Nice.
laughing.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Socrates just watches this and he closes his eyes and sighs. He looks at you, waiting for you to finish
Oh.
this.
Our family dinners have gotten so much bigger. You must be hungry.
We are not coming with you now.
What?
we've
How
people
long
to
has it
bury,
been?
and we've things to gather. But you have a revolution happening. Gibbs?
You can see it kind of takes the wind out of Gibbs' sails, realizing kind of the anxiety she's put off and how tapped she is, and she thinks about, the message she sent to Jimmy 12 Toes about the second you lose that adrenaline, and her adrenaline just drops
Okay.
as she realizes how right Socrates is and how much she kind of has to focus and how fucking hurt she is to try and keep standing. Well, at least you're here to see me off, and to be honest, I could probably use a little bit of advice, so if you've got 20 minutes, I'd love to talk. Strategy.
You do not have 20 minutes. You need to get off this planet as soon as you can. But let's meet in Rat King.
I hold
We
out my
can talk
comm,
there.
so we can...
He takes his comm and just, you have Socrates' number. Interestingly, for the first time, Gibbs, this is a number that, as it comes up, does not have any data attached to it. This is a very clean number, such that without you could not transfer this contact elsewhere. This is directly on your phone, and you get the sense that should you try, it will disappear. But Socrates takes his communicator back, and he says, "This is not the first time that we've seeded a rebellion. We can help. But we need 2 weeks to gather what we need.
Are you talking about the GoldenEye Rebellion?
Perhaps."
Well, thank you. You're now my brother kin, and I hope your rebellion and your rebuilding continues to be a success, and I hope you know that you can call on us and we will try our hardest to continue to help. But we also couldn't have done this without you guys.
And nothing is free. You'll help us rebuild, and we'll help you find your freedom.
Thank you, Socrates, Franklin, Rita, Donut.
Donna just goes, "This is not my idea. Against this."
It's okay. Some of my team's also against it, but home is important. Your faith is important. Thanks.
Donna just kind of waves, and Socrates nods, and he goes, "We'll be in touch. But you really must be going."
I give him a big old hug!
Socrates goes, "Oh, I don't like this at all. I
And
really
then
don't like this."
I subsequently give everyone else a hug
Okay.
as we start to
Everybody else seems fine with it. Kankashi's is kind of like, "Oh, please be careful with my ribs," and just seems pretty beat up.
I make sure I hold up his arm and mwah, his ribs, but it does nothing.
It's a little dirtier. Yeah, no problem. So Meeg at this point is going to turn to you, Spice, and she's going to say, "Can you give me and Mari a ride to the Eclipse Mall?"
Of course we can. We'll stop there first.
"I can't take my ship with me. Can you guys use it?"
Of course we can use it. Did you see our shuttle back there? Your forces fucked it up.
I didn't. But then you can see Ranklin just goes, "Now very much on fire. Didn't get your thing, by the way. Sorry."
It's all right. Yeah. Well, your team fucked it up before you fucked them up. So, yeah, we can use this one. Thank you. What a nice parting gift.
I'm not parting. You're going to ride with us for one day.
Yeah.
One family dinner.
One family dinner.
Director, family dinner.
You call that up the gangplank, and there's a little ding, ding, ding. And then for you, Shade, who have brought and seats you on board, the comms all open up, and you just hear, "Gibbs has requested a family dinner."
Mari, Kinkashi, come into the kitchen with me.
What are you doing with this guy?
As soon as, I'm still just moving for this mission, so as soon as we landed, I'm bringing him to the ship, securing him in, I guess, still the bathroom.
No, the prisoner bay. I made a prisoner bay.
Yeah, and then,
So you bring him
prepping to
into
take
the
off.
smuggler's bay and stick him down in a cot there. Sure.
Nice.
Guess I would have made sure that he was disarmed fully, but I guess he got stripped.
With
already.
taking 10,
Well, I think
especially
he
as
already
this
got
is all
stripped,
happening.
right? So like,
I took all his stuff.
You took all of his stuff, no problem. You still like go through and make sure there's nothing hidden. You take 10 to like make sure that there's no like he cannot like burst out in the middle of this and be like, I had a nuclear
I don't
missile
think
the
I'd
whole
want
time.
to take 10. I would just I'm trying to get off this
Okay,
planet
no
as
problem.
quickly as I can. So I'm getting on the ship, making sure he's secure, and then prepping for takeoff.
No worries. You begin to prep for takeoff. Doing so, what are you setting as coordinates? Do you go into the drift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to get out.
No worries. So you start
Bub's
keying that up.
probably gonna be right next to Shade. He kind of feels a little bit awkward of being around like Meeg and Mari and Spice. Like like when it's at girls' night and Bubs is like has like the energy. He's like, oh, ooh. I don't know.
It's just friends hanging out.
Yeah, but she just called me teamwork or the girls talk about stuff. I don't know. So Bubs is gonna hang out with his boy Shade in the cockpit.
Yeah, his boy Shade. I resent you,
Shade.
Bubs.
This cold figure.
Still the best option right now.
Yeah, no problem. You do that. So, you guys load up. Is there anything else that you guys want to do before you leave?
How long is it taking everyone to get on the ship? I would start to be.
This is like 5 minutes. All
Hurry.
this has happened so far. So,
Yeah,
I mean-
I'd say as soon as I'm ready, I'm pinging everyone to get on the fucking ship.
okay. So a little message goes up. We're ready to leave.
Thank you.
What is the actual message?
Get on ship ASAP.
Okay. Yeah, very dad text message. Get on ship ASAP.
What about Ali? I can't leave Perdido without addressing her.
4 minutes.
Okay.
Hey. 2 out of 3 is not bad. She's probably still alive. We can confirm that on the way. And we can always come back here to a better Perdido.
Mari is going to say, or we could just bring her to us.
What do you mean by that?
Well, she still doesn't know that you're alive, probably, but we could invite her to wherever we're going to go.
Is she on good terms with you, Meek?
Me kind of looks at Mari, and Mari goes, she's on good terms with me.
Hey, there we go. We got one. I'm glad we got 2 sides, and she like puts her arms on both their shoulders.
Very
Two sides of the
mismatched
system,
now.
yeah.
And they used to be almost the same height.
Yeah.
Meeg probably a good 6 inches taller than Mari now. Significantly, and that's not even counting the tactical pumps. But no problem.
You guys, I wanted to talk to you about what Sitsu has done to both of you. She looks at the nanosites.
So Mari has these implants, and for what it's worth, the thing that, so you saying that, Mari is going to say, that's really a longer story than we have to tell right here.
Okay.
But yeah, we can talk about it.
Sorry, I didn't realize we were not on our ship yet.
No. So you guys
Okay.
board the ship. Shade, right when you're about to like turn around, you see them start like climbing up the gangplank. And as soon as the last person touches it, you begin to like raise it with them already on it. You shut the gangplank and
I run out to the closest window and do that thing, and I push my face against it, and I look at Socrates and Donut and Rita.
just brown paint across it. So you run over to the next one, boom, and you can see all of them. Rita just waving mightily. Socrates is just kind of giving you like a little salute. Ranklin just giving you a little salute, and Socrates just stares at you the whole time, but watches as you lift up and depart, flying through first the clear sky, then back through the sandstorm, and then ultimately up and into the atmosphere. You guys make your way into space, and you leave that little heart in the window.
But then I make it a potato.
Okay. The ship is pretty quick, and so you don't get to see the response too well. But no problem, you do that. You make your way up and into the atmosphere, and soon the pretty much omnipotent brown-orange sand that you've experienced now for the past week dies down, and you are surrounded by black. For some of you, very comforting, is space. You are now aboard your ship for the first time in about a week. Give me 1 second. So Shade, if you queue up to enter into the drift. Give me 1 moment here. Okay. So, You punch in everything, and still, with the drift in mind, you can get that kind of lifted up. Where are you heading after the drift? What is your destination that you're going to set? Or are you going to just go straight to the drift and figure it out?
Getting into the drift
No problem.
immediately once we're like secure.
Eclipse
Contacting
Mall. Let's
Pete.
return Sitsu to the Eclipse Mall.
Contacting Pete.
No problem. So you instantly, as soon as you get far enough away from the planet, as soon as you're able to pass beyond the elements of debris that form almost this like orbit around most habitable planets, you punch in the drift drive and you watch as the ship just sinks, almost feeling like it falls away. The stars seem to almost wink out of existence, and then around you there is the drift, this dark purple clouds that form channels in the space. This is dark, a little darker than some of the other areas that you've been to before. The walls in this space, solid, not so much like clouds and wisps, but still the drift. You can see the dark passageways. You can see the clouds billowing out around as the ship displaces elements as it arrives, and you begin to drift forward. You want to contact Peep? No problem. You open up a channel to Peep, and almost instantly, like he's been waiting, like holding the phone, waiting for you guys to call, you see Peep's face. You hear his paws like scampering around the device. And then you just hear, "Hello? Hey, are you guys there?
Peep.
Are you all alive?
We are alive.
Are you all in one
Have
piece?"
Governor Sitsu. Where
Spice
should
looks
we
over
drop
with her
him
one
off?
eye and
Oh.
like winks with her wrong eye, but no, you can't see it
It
because
just
there's
goes-
no eye there.
It's like a little twitch, and he just goes, "Ugh, I don't like that.
I will fix it.
Please don't. I just got paperwork. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. Shade, you got Sitsu?
Yes.
That makes sense.
He's alive.
I don't know how this happened so fast, but you guys got a promotion process? Oh my God. Can you just get Spice out of the camera view?
Spice struggles to stay in, but I assume everybody pushes her
Echo like
away.
stands in front.
Yeah.
You see Mari wraps her arms around your waist, puts her hover skates against the ground, and they and like pushes you 5 feet forward. But no problem. Peep just goes, "Oh my God, what happened?"
The details don't matter. We have him in custody. Where should we take him?
First of all, congratulations. It's amazing. So many people have failed with this bounty. Second, if you could bring him to the Eclipse Mall, you can drop him off with the authorities. They'll transfer the funds directly to us.
Putting in the coordinates.
Okay, yeah, you instantly put in, and you guys have a drift beacon to the Eclipse
Yeah.
Mall. So it takes you 1 day to get there. But he says, Orion already sent paperwork over. You guys are promoted. You have all of your rights reinstated. Your health insurance has been moved up to the next tier. So Spice, we could probably figure. Please don't let Gibbs do the eye surgery.
What?
We could figure something out.
What?
I want
Gibbs,
a fancy eye.
Gibbs, you're doing great.
Hey, what's our new pay? And can I get a new title and at least at the very least a hat?
We can get you a hat. That's not a problem. We could do that before. But yes, you have a line of credit that's been extended now through Mosaic. So when you're at the mall, if you do have things that you need to purchase, you should be able to procure quite a number of items.
Do we all have lines of credit?
Say that again.
Do we all have lines of credit?
It is a Mosaic Team 5 line of credit. I still have control over this guy, so please do not be spending this recklessly. But somehow, did you report this?
Not yet. Report what? Report our bounty success?
Well,
Call the presses.
all
Pete.
of your restrictions got lifted an hour and a half ago.
Is that a good thing?
I mean, yeah.
It was probably big news.
Meeg, did you report this?
Meeg turns and just kind of shakes her
An
head.
hour and a half would have been prior to any of this going down.
Yeah.
That's suspicious to Shade.
Wait, who lifted it? Can you look on the line item?
No, Ryan sent me this. You guys are all reinstated, and he seems kind of pissed about it too. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
Peep, you need to dig into that.
Yeah, I will.
Because, like, we hadn't earned it yet, and we were still sorting out our punishment.
The timeline does not match up.
Yeah, that's a
And if
little bit
he's pissed
concerning.
about it, it means that it wasn't a Mosaic thing. Someone forced his hand.
Peep, what is Orion's title in Mosaic Organization?
Let me pull that up.
Oh, I think I have it.
This is a tough question.
Yeah.
No, I literally have an org chart for Mosaic because
Oh, but
it's
I
the
don't remember when I
central
asked the
corporation,
question, so, yeah.
I have like every department. I have like the direct reports. I basically built
bigger.
ADP for Mosaic. Sorry, say that again.
What is Orion Massacorp's title within the Mosaic organization?
I heard that one. Dan, what did you say?
I said something stupid.
Fair enough. So Peep looks down at his data slate. Give me 1 second here.
It's fun.
All right. Ascension resources. Let's move
Is he a member of the board?
No. So Orion is technically Maxwell's boss. Orion is chief of mission control. And then his boss is director of operations, Robert. And then his boss, well, not really boss, but the only person that really talks to, nobody actually talks to the director, but there's the assistant. Miss Moonwatch, you have to be really nice to her because she's really mean. I've only talked to her once at the holiday party, but
Are you aware of any board members?
I don't think there's a board. I think it's oh god, why did I pick such a hard name? I actually can't even pronounce the director's name because they're an Ilthasarian and their names are almost impossible to pronounce.
Okay, well, it's super sketchy, but we'll take it. We succeeded, so we earned it, so I'm not gonna feel bad about it. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna look into this still.
Yeah, okay.
I'll ask Maxwell if this has ever happened before,
Does-
but I've never seen this.
Does Echo feel that a company not having a board is suspicious?
Make a sense motive check and take a +6 conditional modifier. You know a thing or two about suspicious corporations.
Anyone want to wheel me? Please?
Can
Someone in the
Quest
chat.
wheels.
Step up.
That's a 12 plus 6 for 18.
With an 18, it's not impossible. A lot of the corporations that you know of have boards, and those are the people that stand to profit. But maybe this Ilthasarian, maybe this individual just has total control over this entire company.
Peep, I find it a little bit odd that Mosaic does not have a board, as most companies I am familiar with do have a governing body. However, it is possible that one person has total control over such a large organization without any investors.
Well, maybe you could put in a request with Sentient Resources and they could tell you, but I really don't know.
I don't think they would.
I think you can send an email, though. Like a nicely worded email, you'd be surprised how far it can go.
Yeah.
Like, my med bay. Oh, speaking of which, I need a new gurney and a new desk chair and, like, at least, like, a metric shit ton of office supplies.
Well, if you're going to the Eclipse Mall, that's probably the best place to go and get that.
Okay,
But,
I'll let you know.
You can definitely pay for it.
Cool. Okay, so, one day, I guess I can try and keep Sitsu sedated?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, if you don't, you cannot physically lose him in the drift.
That'd be real
I
sad.
really don't want to curse this.
Okay.
But it's impossible.
Okay. I'm on it. And the eye. And are you okay? Shade's got some weird stuff going on that he's not talking about, Peep. Can you ask him to talk about it?
Dr. Maldras got a
okay.
hack in there.
Shade. What?
He almost, I'm gonna tattle on you because you're not at,
Well, Gibbs, maybe this is something that we could talk about privately. It's not really polite.
No, because we're like, a team and all this stuff, and like we all talk about our problems, and Shade's the only one who's not doing it.
but
Medical information is not typically discussed in front of others.
Okay, Peep.
you lead in, but for all of you, your communicator, as Gibbs leans in, it becomes louder from your Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, just ends.
He's not talking about his feelings, and I'm really worried. I'll send you an email. I'll send it in an email.
Fine.
Gibbs, we all heard that.
Oh no!
Listen. Shade, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Shade's fine.
He says that all the time, though.
Yeah, because he's fine.
But he's not. I'm there. You're not. Peep, listen to me. Listen to me. Let me touch you through the communicator.
you no.
Okay. He says he's fine.
Yes. And so that's fine. Keep an eye on him. You're the medical officer. File your reports. And if you can create documentable paperwork and you can show that there's something happening, then we could take some action. Then we can have S1R3, maybe create a plan to get Shade some assistance. You know, maybe we could even just send Hassan and he could take a look. I don't really know how androids work in that way, but we can do something. But
I will report Shade appropriately as a liability.
that's not what I said. I said if there are direct, observable things that are happening, you can report those.
Great. I will do that. Look forward to my report. I'm going to go deal with the prisoner. I go to my med bay and I grab my med bay bullshit and I go to the prison bay and I sit and I work on shit.
You can see Peep just closes his eyes. He goes, he grabs his whiskers and he just goes, I didn't want to have to do this. Shade,
Yes.
I am making you the captain.
What? Not me? Spice.
You're like off screen. You can just see like Spice's
Still with
arms as you're trying to fight
Mari.
Mari, and now Mari and me like piling onto you.
Spice is like, I run a successful mission.
One time. Let me have this.
But Peep just goes, I don't know what's happening here. You guys just got reinstated, so if you could just keep the team on task for a little bit longer, maybe a day, that would be great. Can you do that?
Yes.
Excellent.
No, he can't.
Shade, you guys have done a really great job. This is something that was supposed to be almost impossible. You pulled it off. Thank you for keeping everybody together.
It wasn't him.
All right.
Are there tears rolling down Shade's face as he gets praise from Peep?
Ben just goes, listen, guys, you've done some amazing work. When you get to the Eclipse Mall, let me know. If there are certain things that you need, I can try to pre-order them so you can pick them up, but just send them to my communicator. Is there anything else that you need or need to know?
I want to know if Allie's okay, but I don't know if you can tell me that. Never
Is that
mind.
like a band?
Yeah, maybe she plays it. I'm sure she can shred the
He
guitar.
she just goes, you can see he types something up and he goes, I'm not finding anything.
He's just typing like OWIE, like, because you spell his name fucking weird.
Tutorial videos
Never
on how to
mind.
play space guitar.
Okay, well, anything?
Look for my email.
Thank you.
Okay,
Pete.
I'll look for your email. Okay.
Why am I not the captain,
Keep out. And he
Spice?
just he closes the
Spice.
communicator, cuts all of you off.
No love you, Gibbs.
So, Shade, you set the Eclipse Mall?
Are we all in the cockpit when this conversation's happening, or is everyone just
No, I fucked off.
You're all mostly spread out. I think it's just the two of you in the
Yeah.
cockpit now.
Megan
Mari,
that's originally there.
Megan and Mari kind of have like Spice now in the hallway, and I'm imagining Spice's hands are like on the doorway trying to pull in. But
Yeah.
and Gibbs just kind of like underneath. But you punch on the coordinates, and for everybody who is in here, you watch as the numbers, and then 24 hours, 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and the time begins to count down. Now, it is 8:30, so we're going to step away for a quick break. It's actually 8:23, so we're going to step away for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 8:33 to finish off this session, but thank you for sticking with us so far for Mosaic Team 5. We'll see you in just a little bit.
Bing, bing, bing.
And welcome back. That's a weird way to come back in.
You're welcome.
Welcome back. We are playing Starfinder.
Starfinder.
We're playing Starfinder.
We
here.
think we're playing a bastard version of Starfinder.
Oh man. Okay, here. Let me go ahead and just toss in something. Let's go. We'll call this a space western. Let's make it a space western. All right. So, for all of you, there is a day that you have to pass in the drift. As you are now aboard your primary ship, we can pull this up in the battle cam real quick. Oh, look at that. You got the Christmas tree and everything. It's always drift missing the drift.
Yes, it is.
You pass through the drift, the cosmic clouds passing by. You can see the clock slowly counting down the hour that it will take you to reach the Eclipse Mall, this massive, sprawling 300-shot mall that itself is located in a ravine in a scorched moon. So over the course of this day, what would you all like to do? Shade?
I'm in the ship, in the cockpit,
Piloting the pilot?
I think I would start out just in the cockpit.
smoking
with
a
Shade.
lot of cigarettes.
Okay.
Not smoking cigarettes because Shade's trying to get me not to smoke cigarettes.
No problem.
I imagine this is like the seconds after like everyone leaves.
No, we just put it there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, Bubs, you spend a little bit of time in the cockpit, and your communicator goes off.
Oh no, please not Kevin.
It is not Kevin. It is Steel.
Oh, okay, all right.
This message says, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay. Piracy's on the rise. There's something going on around Prime Station. They're targeting the beacon, and trying to get at it. Just attacked recently, almost every 2 months. So, just be careful if you come out this way. That's all." So the two of you spend a little bit of time in the cockpit.
Yeah, I'll send that to the group message. That's all of Steele's information about piracy and Prime Station being attacked by some vague force. Maybe is it pirates? Was he trying to assume it was
So
pirates?
specifically, he said the pirates are attacking the drift beacon that is associated with Prime Station.
Okay.
So, you send that into the group chat. Echo, what are you doing?
Echo's gonna like open up the little gardening kit.
Okay.
Instantly be confused.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody got dirt in here.
This seems very unclean.
This is
Yeah.
Nikolai.
This is very different than Nikolai.
Pulls out like a strange packet of like biological substance and like puts that aside and kind of like digs through and it's like, I think this is broken. And puts it aside. And then is going to do a little bit of digging off the public server.
Okay. Make a computer stack. This is about how clean you can do this off the public server. There is a passive scan that goes on throughout the ship. The ship seems to be doing it, and then you're aware of the fact that Shade is pretty connected to the ship as well. So this is really about making sure that...
So I'm basically trying to make it off the company server.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Are you pretending to garden as you do it?
It's 27.
They threw it in the trash.
You set up a relay and connect as securely as you can, trying to bounce the signal through different elements. And in the drift, it's a little easier. It kind of like bleeds into the interstellar clouds, but no problem. What are you looking for?
Echo's looking for any information on people who have invested in Mosaic LLC.
Yeah, make a cultures check.
Do I get to add anything from my criminal background?
You don't.
Cool.
Criminal background.
This is a USR company. All above ground
16.
here.
This is a URSR company. You find that the holdings are listed to Mars, for what it's worth. And not a whole lot. I mean, there is no... It's not a publicly held company, first of all, and so you can't buy shares in it. This is a company that goes back, and as you begin to dig, interestingly, you cannot find a start date. Nowhere can you find a founding date. And it seems like somewhere around like 2100, things get kind of muddled. and it's hard to really track it beyond there. Certainly it existed before then. It was a fairly substantial company even then. It held 3 bounty hunter teams and was pretty successful, but can't track beyond that with that role.
They'd probably spend pretty much the entire time trying to like figure that out and track it down.
Yeah, no problem. You do that. Echo, at midnight. Right as the clock turns over and you're still really struggling with this, your communicator goes off. This is a message, and you can see very, very simple. And interestingly, as you look at it, this has been sent to you very much in the way that you are connecting to a server off of another one. This is something that has been relayed and kind of passed through multiple places, very degraded, so much so that very little of the original data is left. All that it reads: 549, stuck, weekly, 540. And that's all.
One more time.
549, stuck, weekly, 540. At midnight, that is what you get. Now, Spice, what are you doing?
I assume Spice, Mari, Meeg, and Kinkashi too, but like a little bit outside the circle because it's like
Kinkashi's stuck behind.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so that's fine. So it's just Mari, Meeg, and Spice, like all sitting down by the Driftmist tree and gabbing their faces off, and like as all the like surface level like girl talk drama settles, Spice is gonna go. So, I've been disconnected from the GPF for a while. It's been a few years, ladies. But Meeg, you said they're planning something. That was freaky.
Meeg turns to you, and now, probably after the first hour or so, changes out of this heavy armor, no longer wearing like GPF stuff, much more casual clothing. And Meeg, still an imposing figure, but a little bit smaller than you.
She like slaps her shoulder and goes like, damn, you really got big, girl.
She nods a little bit. Being a captain is hard. What's happening, I'm not really sure. But they've been procuring weapons, starship weapons, anti-ship weapons, all the kind of stuff that we stocked up on before the Vesk War.
I remember. Why?
I don't know.
That's scary.
It is. And the task force has been away longer and longer every time. So I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe a secret war? But against who?
I have no fucking idea.
She kind of nods, and Mari also chips in and just says, they've always been bad, but it's worse. And it's just been getting worse ever since the war ended. It's like they have nobody to take their aggression out on, so it's just whoever's around.
Ugh. Well, they're clearly taking it out on you two, and she references to their nano disfigurations. What the fuck happened?
So Mari puts her hand up, and as she does, bing, little heart forms out of like these little microbots
No!
right back. And she goes, well, I did this myself.
Oh.
But some of the other ones, and she kind of like lifts up the elements of like the shorts that she's wearing. You can see like this long cut down her leg where there's been like a very, very well done surgical procedure and a very slight bulge, which indicates some kind of cybernetics. I'm able to go a little faster, and maybe it wasn't the smartest deal, but he needed an advantage, and we were trying to get whatever we could.
Is that how you ended up in jail?
She looks at Meeg, and Meeg just kind of like averts her gaze for the first time.
Spice goes, oh, shit, I already knew that.
And Mari coughs, and Meeg goes, look, it was that, or you know what? And Mari just kind of nods and huffs and just goes, yeah, well, it wasn't comfortable, and it didn't have to be maximum security. And Meeg just kind of sighs, and she looks at you, Spice, and she says, where did you go?
She like looks at her hand that has Hylax on it, and, you know, flashes it to them, but then she also looks at her other hand up with the tattoo of Zan Kuthan, and she says, after I thought Julian... She, like, pauses a moment after...
You can see
she
they
says her
exchange a
name.
glance at that.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
After I thought... She stutters. I couldn't handle the thought of Julian and the Uzumaki being dead, so I kind of lost it for a little bit, and I got involved in some kind of sketchy stuff for a
The
little
carbon cartel spice, really?
bit. That wasn't me! I don't know where that came from. But she holds up the talisman. It's clearly following me.
That's bad news.
I know.
People will try to kill you to get that.
It's...
That's a lot of money right there.
I know. Oh, it's already tried to happen once. This is something I shouldn't flash so regularly, but that's why it felt like I needed to flash it when we were with you, Meeg. It felt important that you knew.
They'll look for you the same way that they're looking for your dad.
Ugh, that scumbag. She says, you know, the words you said really hurt when we were on the battlefield. I know my dad isn't the best guy, but I'm not like him. I'm trying. I did, on Aris Bay, kind of fuck up a little bit. I succumbed to my addiction a little bit. But it hasn't happened since.
You can see Mari goes, you went to Ara's Bay?
I went to
And he
Ara's
goes,
Bay!
You had an addiction? And it's two very
Yeah.
different reactions. Excited, concerned, angry. But yeah, very different reactions. And so if you want, you can like catch them up on the Ara's Bay arc. No
Yeah,
problem. You'd, like, talk to
I
them
fill
through
them
that.
in 100%.
You're like, oh yeah, and then Kevin, he's this great guy.
Yeah. Tiffy, this bitch!
But as you kind of like fill them in, Mari like engrossed in this, and she like clearly like always has wanted to go to Ara's Bay. But
Let me tell you, there's this amazing restaurant called Hakashitahana, and while I was undercover as Donna, as you guys know, there was this woman whose name Olive forgets. It was like Noma or Nora, but Spice, the owner of Hakashitahana.
Nala?
No.
It was something that began with
Something
an
like
N.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so she says her name even though Olive can't remember.
Yeah.
She's like, great woman. And I told her my real name and that I regretted leaving her on such short notice. But you guys should fucking go. Nadia, that's her name.
Nadia, yeah.
Nadia, there you go.
Okay. So Meeg looks at Mari, and Mari just goes, please, Meeg, can we? And Meeg just goes, I'm not your mom. And maybe. We have to figure one thing at a time.
I'm not your mom, but also maybe.
I'm not gonna say yes or no.
And you can see as soon as she says maybe, Mari's just like, yes, right behind her. But Meeg turns to you. When we get to the mall, we'll think about it, and we'll figure something out. We need to get new clothes, new everything.
Let's get you a new life, ladies.
Like, Meeg looks a little bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Mari is like vibrating now with excitement. She is like, I'm gonna get new shoes, and I'm gonna get, and just like super excited.
Yes,
about
bitch,
it.
let's go.
So you pull up your communicator. You guys are like virtually shopping now, going through this huge directory. Gibbs, what are you doing?
So I spend whatever the appropriate amount of time is to ensure that Tsutsu stays like largely unconscious but like medically safe.
Sure.
And will like heal whatever damage I feel is necessary, but like do that. And then as I start to like leave the kind of the under pit, and I see that the girls are like kind of curled up and clustered around like the tree and on the couches and stuff, and you know, I sort of skirt around that conversation, my heart kind of heavy as I realize that Spice currently has what I hope to someday have and more, as I think of Tobin and Wicket back and the missing Dusk, and compare the two, weighing them in my hand and my head as I think about, you know, Owie still missing for Spice and Dusk still missing for me, and sort of some of those anxieties. And then I realize I'm tired, but there's something much more important than my physical being is the problem I've been neglecting is my bottle. And so I go to the engineering bay, and for the first time, take the time. It's locked.
I
Gibbs.
locked it for when Mari was on the ship. Didn't unlock
Yeah,
it.
it is locked. So you kind of... But also, your communicator goes off. And kind of as you're looking in this beautiful glow of the Christmas tree, and you're looking at Spice, and you're thinking about the things that you have in common, you get a message from Chips. And it says, "Hey Gibbs, have you been to Sirens yet? Taking much longer as Crumbs of Crumbs is all that be left. Found out more about the mines. It was an old research stations, neutral, fancy prime folk, but not sure if it still exists. They discovered super valuable stuffs in theirs, but Chip's not sure what they says." That's all. You look back up and you can see Meek, Mari, Spice all on the couch. Spice showed up for her friends, even if it took some time. For what it's worth. So you go back to the...
I sort of screenshot the text,
Okay.
and I send it off to the group text. Like
Okay.
the Mosaic Team 5 group text plus Peep.
Okay.
And sort of will that out into the universe. And then we'll trudge my way to the cockpit. And
You're getting a call from Peep.
I pick it up. And I slip into the med bay and close
This
the
is
door.
just to you.
Yeah.
So Peep looks at you and goes, "Hey Gibbs, I just got your screenshot. Was that supposed to go to me?"
Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what you thought about it.
I'm confused.
Oh.
Usually it's just a butt picture. What is this?
Mm,
Is this a new thing?
kind of.
Am I supposed to send another screenshot back?
No, just Peep. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. Here's what's up. We went on the bounty because that was important. And I know sometimes that I a little bit derail us, but I have a family member that's lost, and I've been talking to the team about maybe recovering him or spending some resources to help him be recovered, even if it's not actively us. But I have someone else depending on me to be able to solve this problem, and we didn't really have the resources, and now we maybe have them, but I'm just trying to kind of send out feelers about what's next, I guess. So
do you want to go to... I'm really kind of confused.
yeah.
How can I help? I want to help.
Really?
Gibbs, I'm your mission coordinator, and you guys are back in good standing with Mosaic, and in fact, I mean, you're promoted. You're full bounty hunters now, like for real. And I bet you guys are going to have actual traction on TJ's bounty rankings with this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big deal.
We did a good job.
And so, I mean, you guys are going to be able to pick your own bounties from here on out, I would imagine. So if you guys want, I can look up something that maybe like disappeared into the siren system and you can note that down.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for my cousin, brother, sibling.
Okay.
His name is Crumb, and he's of the Chips and Crumbs.
Oh, I think I put in like a purchasing order from them for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that glows?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
He's missing into the mines of Siren, and I know it's a little foolish that he went there in the first place, but
Yeah, that's a terrible...
I tried, but you know how youngins are.
I mean, almost 200 people died making that place. And
Yeah.
getting there is almost harder now. Every time the ships get damaged, they become part of the field.
I get you. So,
Ah.
it's a long shot, but I have a little bit of tracking, and I might have a little bit more after my head clears or something. But yeah, I mean, if you could find us something that could point us into the mines of Siren, that'd be great. But like, if not, I guess also fine. But that's like, again, this is just my personal vendetta goal, like, thing. I don't know what other people in the team are feeling yet. I was just sort of sending out feelers, so.
No, I mean, this is absolutely something that I can do. This is my whole job. And up until now, you guys have made it almost impossible for me to do it because you sort of throw yourselves under the bus. You either try to steal from the mob, or there was that time that Spice took her boobs out on camera, or there was the time that, you guys just have maybe not the best track record, but this changes everything. I can actually help now. So wherever you guys want to go in the galaxy, we can get there together.
That'd be really nice. But Peep, I gotta tell you, I know you just kind of promoted him, but I'm a little worried about Shade. And not like a little worried like he's got a boo-boo, but like a little worried because it's one thing to have a problem, but it's another thing to have a problem and not talk about it. He's not seeking help or resources or opening up, and maybe it's just not to me. Maybe he'd reach out to you. It doesn't matter who he does it to. It just, there's something going on in the circuitry, and I do lack a little bit of experience, but
Make a
I am
diplomacy
worried.
check.
Yeah. 14.
Sorry. You know, Gibbs, I'm not really good at that kind of stuff, but what I'll do is I'll reach out to Sentient Resources and I'll have S1R3 contact Shade and just set up maybe like a little session and they can talk about it and maybe figure out, you know, what's happening. But Gibbs, not everybody is ready to deal with their issues, and maybe it just will take Shade some time.
Okay, but like, my opinion.
Yeah, and keep an eye on it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Hey, thanks. I missed you.
Thanks, Gibbs.
Hey,
yeah.
do you have the cactus? Is he okay? Cactus.
You mean
Nikolai.
Echo's Nickel? Yeah, I have it.
Okay, can you meet us at the Eclipse Mall?
Make a diplomacy check.
21. It's really important.
Yeah, but you should have told me when you guys got started. I'll be there 12 hours after you now. And you see like in the back of his head, and you see he's like typing some stuff in. And
Thanks.
He goes, all right. I'll see you there in a day.
Nice.
Keep out. And just
Love you, Gibbs.
communication goes dead. But no problem. You'll be meeting Peep at the Eclipse Mall.
Cool. And then I go to the cockpit
Okay.
and I knock. Knock, knock. Hey, guys. Hey, Bubs. Hey,
Heavy
Shade.
cigarette smoke in there.
Could I have the key for the engineering bay, please?
What do you need the key for?
I need to engineer something.
Are you capable of engineering something?
Probably not, but
There are multiple delicate instruments in that room. I'd prefer if you stayed out.
The overhead
will you give me supervision then?
PA system activates. And you hear, Shade, Gibbs, you have procured a drone that can manufacture items.
I can't. I need it. I need to fix my bottle. And I can't manufacture a new one. It doesn't work like that. It's empty right now. I need to fix it.
Putting it on autopilot, and I'm gonna take the bottle and...
No, no, no. I will help. You help me fix it.
Given your expertise, I believe I would be better suited at this endeavor. I won't do anything that you do not request.
What if it breaks more?
There's a very low probability that I will let that happen.
You have to be able to prom. This is more important than my life. This is more important than my...
Do you not trust me, Gibbs?
Not entirely. No. I don't know that there's anyone in the world I would trust with this, but you and I haven't always seen eyes to eye.
That doesn't mean that there should be a lack of trust between team members.
You don't feel it? The fracturing? Not just in my bottle, but in art?
I have.
The bottle's so important to fix, but this is also important to fix. And if trusting you with this helps fix this, I will trust you. and Gibbs for the first time. It takes a while because it's like just tethered on with straps and like trash and like every piece of fabric she has. Yeah.
Go to the bathroom.
And there are times too, Gibbs, where you like take a couple off, and then as you turn and you feel one of these straps loose, you almost instinctively like reattach it because it's not supposed to be off.
And there's definitely like a bare patch on her back where like the bottle usually sort of like rests and rubs. Where the fur doesn't really like always need to grow back because it's not really exposed the way that the rest of her body kind of is. And we'll sort of trot along to the med bay. And she's got a blowtorch and some glass rods, courtesy a la Spice. So we'll sort of procure those for you and then also give you her bottle, letting it off of her person and out of her hands, but not out of sight.
Shade, as Gibbs puts the bottle in your hands, which, you know, you just shatter it on the ground. You just spike it on the ground. No. So as you
Give me another!
as you grab the bottle, you hold it. For Gibbs, it's this huge thing, but you're able to hold it in both hands pretty comfortably. And looking down at Gibbs as you take this, Gibbs looks so small. Even for a Yosoki, Gibbs looks puny, and part of it is just like her body language kind of shrinks back. You've seen Gibbs almost too much confidence most of the time. This is a very different Gibbs. It's almost like when she passes you this bottle, very much there is a part of her that goes with it. But you take it, and it's almost empty. Although shade to your eyes, you can see at the very, very bottom, almost completely like dry and coating the edge, there is just a drop of this foul trash juice, just barely coating the edge.
Oh.
You're not a mystic anymore. No, kidding.
Now you're the mystic.
Yeah.
It's contagious. And I find all of the like pieces of like I have glass things that I'll like collected and I'll like start to pile those up and give you the kind of chunk I have that's from the rim of it that I know kind of belongs there and see without sort of the straps I'm able to kind of better assess sort of how deep all the cracks are in the light.
Does this look like something I could pretty easily repair?
Easily? You're using multiple elements of other glass and a blowtorch to try to repair
also
a
the stuff in the engineering bay. I'm not just gonna do it with a blowtorch.
I understand. The engineering bay is very much designed for like engineering, maybe not so much glass blowing, and that is a specialized form. However, you absolutely can accomplish this. It's not the easiest thing,
right? But like, I can take 20 and get it functional again.
It's functional right now, but you could certainly try. Okay. Shade, if you want, go ahead and make an engineering check.
Can I help?
I would probably
and take a +6 conditional modifier as Gibbs helps.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so I put it on autopilot. Go to the.
I'm gonna stay in the cockpit.
Okay.
Engineering.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no! Fuck! Oh my god! I'm gonna die.
Hold on.
No. Why would you say that? Play it
Just because this side can't see the die from here.
I'm just fucking you with you. It's a 33.
Oh.
So.
That's unfair. That was not cool.
You take 4 hours, and in this time, as you trust Bubs to really man the cockpit.
Yeah, well, I would have been like, take care of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers. Keep the windows rolled up.
Bubs goes through the ashtray and is like,
Yeah, right. Smoking bud.
I love that.
I need my fix.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
What
why
does
Bubs
teamworker mean?
is like chilling in the cockpit because he just knows the smell.
Yeah.
But he can't smell it. And while everyone's gone, he's gonna just go on the infosphere and start looking some stuff up.
Okay.
He's going on Tinder.
Yeah, he's going on Tinder.
looking for more coworkers.
Yeah.
Coworkers only.
That's the data.
Yeah.
Bumble BFF.
Yeah. No problem. What are you looking up?
I want to look up stuff about, and I want to do this in a way that, like, I can, like, in my mind, I won't say the name of Julian, but like, I'll think of like the keywords of like the other things
that you know about him.
Yeah, because I know Spice.
And what are you trying to find
all
out?
Those crazy Lashunta people.
Kitsune who dated my
yeah,
girlfriend coworker.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna look up the stuff
Who's
about
the
like
crazy
Dark
one
Star
now?
Station. I want to
Okay,
start
yeah,
getting like,
make a
stuff
cultures
information
check.
about that, and then I want
And
to
your bounty bonus, that certainly applies.
okay, and I want to
Oh. Bounty bonus.
focus on yeah, I'll start off with the big one. Okay, it's a 4.
4? Okay. We'll get back to that in a second.
Low rolls on the side of the table.
Gibbs and
Wait,
Shade.
plus what not?
The two of you, as you are in the engineering bay and you take this glass bottle, and Gibbs, you hand over an assortment of glass rods. The glass rods, all very thin, like very thin. It's hard to imagine what these might be for. But you take them and Shade, with a good amount of time and some delicate work. It doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look the exact way that it looked before. It looks almost like
It would have been a 39 with the +6.
a 39.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good job.
Cool.
You lay the glass across, and as you heat, you sort of like alternate heating the rod and the actual bottle. And you do it slowly so as not to shatter it from a quick temperature change. And you're able to like almost like putty work it in until they become one, and then allowing it to cool. It cools in a way where it's a little bit blackened, but when you like wipe it away a little bit, it's not crystal clear, but it has like, you know, the same kind of sheen that an oil puddle has. That little patch up in the corner now has that like oil puddle sheen to it. A little darker, a little bit malformed, but when you take the cork, shoom, it's airtight.
It used to leak. Thank you! It was all the sonic damage, and I know you took a big brunt of that when you were outside of the diggers thing. You never really healed from the digger's sickness. How are you feeling?
I did not experience Digger's sickness. It was mostly the rocks and the fire. Heated metal, rather.
Well, thank you.
And the electric batons.
Thank you. Hey,
No thanks are necessary.
no, thanks are necessary. This was important, and you helped me. Do you know if... So it seems like the glass is a little susceptible to sound. And we had a lot of it with the sonic drill and the screechy worm guy and then the sonic ringy guy. Like, is there anything that I could... Like maybe an oven mitt or something I could quilt around this thing?
I mean...
Probably not an oven mitt, but
Right,
I would
give
say
it
without
my-
even a roll,
It's like-
you know that there are things that protect
sound,
from sonic
vibration. Yeah, glass is a fragile thing. So
You've seen
like,
people wear noise canceling headphones. Like, yeah, there's ways of doing this, certainly.
Challenge where they throw eggs off the roof.
exactly.
She's gonna wrap it in bubble
Just get
wrap.
like a bunch of rubber bands.
soap,
Get a cardboard
rubber band.
box.
So
Gives us thinking oven mitts, but like is asking
Parachute.
for the
yes,
science
there
behind
are
it.
absolutely ways to do that.
Are there things that I could do right now to help enable this, or like, I guess, add more?
You would imagine it would take a
Concussive
specialized
support?
material, almost certainly. Either something that is very, vibration canceling, maybe something that could like phase in and out of existence, and so you could just avoid sonic damage altogether. I mean, there's a lot of different materials with weird properties, and so hard to, there are many ways you could do that. So sure, but with the stuff that you have available, it'd be tough.
Okay.
Aside from like the egg crate,
Yeah.
science fair project method, which I mean that's Gibbs' whole thing. So
You got any paper towels you're not using?
is there anything else anybody wants to do over the course of this trip?
Echo would probably like come out when processors get a little bit too hot, and looks for Spice, takes out the Inferno knife and says,
Thank you for letting me borrow this.
Spice is
In the cuddle puddle.
very much in the cuddle puddle, but also
like
very
gingerly.
drunk at this point because she's been drinking with Mari and me. And she goes, "No, keep it. I don't need it. It's yours now. I have plenty of other rabbits."
I do not believe that was language. But thank you.
Bleh! I you gonna miss those Eats Meats Echo units? She grabs your outfit.
With that, Mari just goes, Spice, they're all dead. Don't say that.
What's that? You look at it. That's an Echo unit. They're an Echo unit. I want to know if they're gonna miss it.
Other ones
They had a moment, Meek. Shut up.
Okay.
Are you gonna miss them?
They are gone.
Do you miss them?
You see there's like a little bit of dimming to the eyes.
They are gone.
Are there more? Do you know where there's more?
Is this like post midnight?
Yeah.
Echo kind of looks at Spice and the giant cuddle pile of enhanced beings
Spice is weird. Everybody's just been staring at you.
and says,
Huh? I'm self-conscious now.
Yes.
Where are they? Where are they?
I do not know. But hopefully, wherever they are, help will come soon.
What? Help?
and Echo like tries to like.
Okay.
No
Spice
problem.
lets them go.
Yeah, no problem. You just hear like loud laughter behind you, but no problem. You let the lights fade behind you.
Gibbs will follow Shade back to the cockpit, and kind of see Bubs there and be like, oh, I have something for you. And I hand you all of the stuff from the guy that I got, which is, you get the Avatar Corp travel suit, I hand you the bolo tie, the data pistol. I look at the data
The
pistol.
bolo tie is an all-purpose accessory, and this is something that can turn into multiple different devices at the touch of a button.
Is the data pistol a short arms?
It is, yes.
Or
it
small
is.
arms or
It is
whatever?
a small arms. It is a data pistol Tetra.
Tetra, I wrote Terra.
Maybe it is Tetra. But
Oh,
it's one of
can
those.
you, are you a pistoly guy?
No.
Oh, okay, maybe I'll hold on to this one, but here's these two things that I got that made me think of you. I know you're already kind of swanky with the suit stuff, but I think you sold some stuff last time, so...
Alright, and then I'll give Gibbs that thing I got from Jebediah Hex. Nice. The
Okay.
wand. Oh yeah, here you go, Gibbs. I found this too. You might like this.
Bundle of sticks! Nice!
Gibbs, not only is this a bundle of sticks, there are a few little feathers tucked in there, all kinds of weird things. And as you touch this and move it, you would imagine this is something that is going to alter the way that your magic works. How? Will probably take a day for you to figure out. But you take this, and where are you putting it?
Ooh, good question. Bundle of sticks, cheek pouch.
Right in there. For a second, you kind of swish it around to get the saliva to coat it, and you feel like the outer parts of the wicker like shrink a little bit as they absorb. No problem.
Cool.
Bubs, this bolo tie with the press of a button, it can turn into either a grappler, a toolkit that will give you a +4 bonus to engineering checks to disable locks and mechanical traps, or it can turn into a survival knife. That is what it can do.
Sorry, I didn't know what it did. I see Shade's face and I go, oops. But,
You guys left the thing for Shade in the background, so.
Oh.
As is often the case.
Since you had a really nice device.
Well, I have the.
Here's the
I have
device.
the tablet,
Not the
not the
yeah.
the like core that it's connected to.
Was it still on his person?
It's probably like a full system.
Yeah.
Would I been able to do my research check before they came back?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the
would
check?
It was 4 plus 11.
Sorry.
15.
With the 15, Dark Star Station, you would find that it is a place that originally was a memorial. Not supposed to be a space station, but there was a world, and it's actually the place the Kasatha report originating, that was sucked into a black hole. The star itself like fading and pulled in, and so it formed almost this kind of like phantom event horizon, and it looks very peculiar. It's a literal dark star, and near it, this memorial, Dark Star Station, slowly became a place where people who maybe are not on the right side of the law can go and make a life for themselves. It's a dangerous place. Certainly a place for pirates. There is a great number of Vesk who fled from the Vesk War who take up residence in that space. And that's really all you would find with that.
Can I do an additional search to see if I can find anything about the restaurant?
The restaurant at the end of the world?
Yes.
With that as just like a string search?
Yeah.
You get to their website and it's like menu, order online.
Yeah, you find the menu. No, it's a restaurant, and you can find out a little bit about it, but it's mostly mentioned on those forums that you frequent, and you hear people like, "Oh yeah, I met him at the restaurant at the end of the world."
Okay.
And people will talk about it being on a platform that's called the Platform of the Rising Sun. Maybe an elevator or a lift or a shuttle or some kind of a reference to some way of reaching this place. But outside of that, with a 15, not a whole lot.
Okay. And is it like a populated place? The Platform of the Rising Sun? Did I find out that?
Nothing about it. You just hear it referenced. So it could be a dude, as far as you know. The Platform of the Rising Sun could be like a really nice name brand electric razor. Hard to tell. Anything else before you reach the Eclipse Mall?
I'm nervous,
The clock ticks down.
but I got this nice text from Chip. Do you think we could tell him when we see him that we're gonna go there next? I talked to Peep about it. Shade.
What are you asking?
Peep was gonna see if he could find a bounty to also look through the minds of sirens. 2 for the price of 1. Is it more attractive for us to go there?
Is this the next day or is this at night? Sorry.
It's
So this is literally, you watch the clock zeros. And so Shade, at any point you can drop right into the Eclipse Mall, into the approach, right into real space away from the drift. It's just whenever you finish this conversation. So this is the next day, probably right around noon.
Okay.
A little after, like 1 o'clock.
Despite our success, our mission was sloppy. Things are going to be way more difficult from here on out. Going to Siren may not be in our best interest.
We have to go somewhere to get stronger. We have to keep trying. And it was a little sloppy and we weren't always in agreement, but we got the desired outcome.
Gibbs, you get a message from people. All it says is, found one.
We found another bounty. I'll turn my communicator around. Well, it still isn't a screen, so I just let it read out
Just
loud.
cry.
From Peep!
From Peep. Found one. Yeah.
And if we keep taking easy bounties or an easier bounty than Sitsu, we're not going to get any stronger or better.
We need to plan.
Planning? I can agree to planning.
You have a tendency to jump headfirst into every situation, putting other people at risk.
Probably jump more heart first, but I hear it.
Regardless, as captain, we're not going to jump into another dangerous mission immediately. We haven't even dropped off our current target. We need to take time to plan ahead and be prepared if we're going to take on something in Siren.
But that's a yes?
No.
But that's a maybe if we plan?
If that makes you feel better, then yes.
I do the Mari thing where she was like, yes, maybe it means yes! And I'm like, yes, cool, great,
From
out
the
a
drunken
cigarette.
cuddle puddle, Mari just goes, yes.
nice.
Snoring.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks. That sounds like, more than I got earlier, so I'll take it. I can help you with Sitsu. He's a little conked out because of the druggy drugs. But, I'm sure they got the thing to wake him up. Maybe a cup of coffee or something. Their medical officers can figure that one out.
Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
You're right not to trust me.
Hey. You're right not to trust me. I'm a little,
I do.
volatile. No way. Really? Why?
A member of Mosaic Team 5.
A title doesn't mean shit. Why do you trust me?
That's why.
That's interesting. I think your participation in our squad does not make me feel like I have to. I trust, but I worry, and that kind of undermines it. And then it comes back. It comes in waves, really. I know you're steady, and you're there, and you're focused. And I know when I think about what you think, that it's always caution and careful and calculated. And those are good qualities to have, but I worry it's come at a cost, and you're dealing with that quietly. And I care about you because you're a member of Mosaic Team 5, and I don't want to see you suffer in silence, especially if it's something as fixable as glass.
And please, try to be more cautious.
I always try. It never really sticks. I have so much.
You were the one who encouraged me to consider my own feelings more.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that. That is why you should not trust me.
What feelings are you weighing?
I am having difficulty trusting myself.
That tells me that there's something you don't maybe understand, or because you're so careful and
According to all diagnostics, everything is 100% functional.
but those are your on-board ones, right? Like that's like me looking at myself and going, well, I'm a gray Yosoki, but really I'm covered in dirt. Maybe you need a second opinion, and it doesn't have to be mine, but you should find an expert, a android expert, an A&E.
I'm hoping to speak with Spice.
Spice? Why?
Because of her natural psychic ability.
Oh. Good. Cool. I know sometimes when Bubs feels prodded or thinks about things, it can be unpleasant and things come to the surface, but sometimes flushing out the wound is part of healing. So even if it hurts, I think it's important for you to pursue. And again, it doesn't have to be with or around me. It can be in the privacy of just you and Spice. I think it's important. But you have some questions to answer so you can trust yourself again. And Spice has that je ne sais quoi about her that might help you balance out, find what you're looking for.
That is my intention.
Thanks for telling me. I support it. I hope you find what you need, and if you don't, you keep looking. You deserve peace and serenity and security. And I owe you big time. And I will continue to owe you if we can go to the mines and I will continue to owe you for pulling me out of the drift, and I will continue to owe you for pulling me out of a drift, I think a second time, and the diner, and every bounty we've ever been on.
All of that is inconsequential.
It's not, though. It adds up. And
It's not something to keep track of.
why not?
Because as members of Mosaic Team 5, it goes without saying that if someone is in danger, we will help them.
I like owing you.
You don't know me.
Well, you can say that, but I do. And I'm happy to.
Okay.
And I skip off the boat, finding the drunk girls, because I want to party with the drunk girls.
Feeling a lot better. Shade, you get a text from your communicator. As Gibbs skips off, you turn and look. It is a text message from a sender from Mosaic, S1R3. Are you opening it?
If it's from Mosaic
Yeah,
and it
you
doesn't
open
have
it
any
up.
spam.
Well, I don't know.
It is basically a JPEG, and it's a picture of a robot going, and it says, "How you doing, buddy?" And it has a thumbs up and a thumbs down, and you can click one or the other.
I guess so. Do I have to respond? I think I would probably just junk mail it.
This is an official Mosaic.
God, I gotta. All right, I would do the thumbs up then.
Okay. Ting. There's just a bleep, and it just disappears off your communicator. No problem. Gibbs, as like
Dodge
this
that
drops
bullet.
down, maybe like 5 minutes pass, and you get a communication from Peep, and Peep, it just says, "Shade's fine." And Sar followed up on it, and they said he's doing great. But keep an eye on him. Let me know if anything changes. We'll see you in 12 hours.
Ooh, that reminds me. Hey, Echo! Hey, Echo! Echo! Hey, Director, call Echo! Director!
Are we in the same room?
You're not very far apart, but are you dropping out of the drift?
Now that we've made it,
No problem.
yeah, I'm still trying to
pull
get
the
this
lever.
mission done.
And all around you,
Mission's not
these
over, baby.
clouds back, and the starlights appear, and you can see in front of you the scorching blue star that has completely annihilated most of this moon, although the ravine where the mall is hidden. You slowly approach, and you can see all the little lights and the various people walking underneath this almost atrium-like force field that keeps people safe from the scorching rays. You've done a landing before, and so it recognizes your ship. Automatically, it directs you towards Bay A26. Cool. You make your way over. You've been here before. You land. When you land, give me just 1 second here. Yes?
Echo's gonna.
Echo! Echo! Right!
So the director, as you guys are like beginning to coast towards a landing, opens up a channel over the entire ship and goes, "Echo, your presence is requested by Gibbs."
I am on my way.
You turn to the right and take 3 steps and lean into the door.
Hi!
Hello.
I've got
Gibbs.
great news for you.
What is it, Gibbs?
Okay, so I talked to Peep, and he's going to drop off Nikolai back to you. All well and good in 12 whole hours. We've got 12 whole hours to spend at the mall.
That is wonderful news. Thank you.
Are you actually thrilled? Are you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell, but I'm happy you're happy.
Thank you, Gibbs.
We'll have to like make a pillow for him. Like, pillow. Like the way that they put like jewels and shit.
Do cacti enjoy pillows?
I would only assume so.
Very well.
Doesn't.
There you go. So it sounds like a plan. You're going to make a bed for Nikolai. However, you feel a little as you penetrate through the field. Hey, as you penetrate through the field.
Got this far.
It's 9:30.
Coast to
We're
a
not like that.
in Bay A24. As you land in the Eclipse Mall, this is where we're going to stop for the evening. And we'll pick up next week with a little shopping episode. However, as you have now successfully captured Governor Seedsu,
Well, not yet. We gotta drop him off.
Can we just like fast forward through the dropping off part, so Shay can just
We've
shut
already
the
been
fuck up.
through this before.
When we resume play next time, you will have leveled up.
Yay!
Excellent work, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. You guys survived Akaton, the Tears of Akaton arc. And so we'll be back next week, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session 51, almost a full year through of Mosaic Team 5. However, if you can't wait that long, come join us tomorrow night. We'll be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for session 15 of Adventures in Alberon Courts of Everest. We are just finishing a little fight in Petrichor and seeing what comes next. Please stay safe. We'll see you next week.
See you, space boy friend.
Yeah.